Looks like we got a Wolfpack coming to the ring.
The Wolfpack themselves.
Too sweet, all you Wolfpack members out there. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to episode 81 of Wolfpack Wednesdays. It's a good night to be a fan of hot toys. It's a good night to talk hot toys. We are 2 weeks to the day from Christmas Day. And you wouldn't know it by looking at DLO, but you would by looking at me and him.
Not true. Not true. I'm wishing for a brand new quarterback, so I am in the holiday season. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Nonetheless, it's good to be with you guys. Sneaker is having some technical difficulties. I'm not really sure what's going on with his Spectrum bill at the moment, but hopefully he gets that sorted out and he can join us in a little bit. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot of Marvel. We got our top 10 Marvel 2024 releases tonight that we're going to go through towards the end of the show. So stick around for that. How you boys doing tonight? Feeling good? Ready for Christmas?
Feeling crispy, feeling good.
Growing.
Just watched an amazing tour video for the second time. I was showing my kids. DLO The Collector. I'm just going to shout you out right away, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Feeling good, man. Hide and seek with the kids, hanging out. They want to go to the Y for some reason, but I'm like, I don't really want to go out in the cold. It's cold out there.
Chilling.
Just from the parking lot to the Y to go swimming. I don't want to do that, but feeling good. Feeling good. Ready for Wolfpack Wednesday, baby.
Yeah. I will second it and say DLO did a great video. Love the poses. the posters that you kind of
Stop.
made. I thought
Okay.
the Mando shelf and then the Guardians was your best work, but they were all really good. So
Dude, that
Thank you.
Star-Lord pose, just
yeah,
man.
look at him. He can't stop smiling. He's proud.
I'm just
He's a
proud.
boy.
I'm
Man,
proud.
I did
man.
not know you could get more red than me. That's
Make your
awesome.
daddy proud.
Careful, treading water there. No, listen. It was like it's so satisfying and relieving to set a goal, accomplish it to the best of your ability, and just kind of the vision kind of come into exactly how you hoped it would turn out. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a win. It's a win. I just I maximized the hell out of this room. I mean, I've been doing this for years. I've been in the same room now collecting for almost the exact same time since I've been collecting, period. So to know where I came from, where it started, just not even DTOFs, just a couple of like TV unit shelves with a couple figures on there, and to what it is today, it's like it's super cool just to see the evolution of my room, and the fact that I'm blessed and fortunate enough to do it as long as I have to get it to this final iteration, you will, man, and the outpour support and the positivity, it's just been unreal today. So I'm a happy boy today. That's all I can say. A tired happy boy. This is cup number 5 today on the day, but it was worth it.
Awesome. Yeah, so very good stuff. Go check it out. Thank you, Queso Blanco, for being a great moderator, shouting out DLO, but also just sending links and stuff like that. Hit that like button too while you guys are popping in. We are starting with 41 in the show, so we need you to be loud, proud, and engaging tonight in the chat, because this is going to be a fun show. We got a lot to talk about. I got some opinions about some things. I'm sure these guys do as well. So we are going to get to that. Couple of housekeeping notes right now, because I'm going to promote my stuff before we get to the chat.
Man, this song in the background,
Is it too loud? Because I can barely hear it.
No, it's going good.
Okay.
There's music. I can hear Scott.
Oh, let's see here. So really quick, if you guys are in the market for Maju spaces, check out the link below. Use my link. Helps the channel out a lot. We all here have Maju cases, Maju spaces, monos. We love them. So go check that out. Use my link. If you have any questions, hit me up on IG or YouTube. Would love to help you out with that. It's definitely a product that I enjoy promoting. So having said that, moving along, I am going to be, you guys are probably going to think this is like desperate, but I'm going to be selling my Batmobile for Hot Toys Batmobile. So if anybody's interested, there are some caveats to it, but it's a good looking vehicle. If anybody wants to own this for a super, super good deal, let me know. And I can give you more info on it. Don't really want to ship it, but if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. So I did get the Jazz Inc. one. Looking to pay that off probably in the next couple months. So I'd like to maybe have a home for this one so that I can move on and enjoy that one. Otherwise, I'm displaying 2 Batmobiles and I don't really have space for 2 of them. So hit me up if you are interested. We could talk about a deal. And then I want to give my boy Austin, aka they call me Queso Blanco, a shout out. He's been doing some really cool stuff on his own. He did a forging table that goes for the armor, and it's totally a custom piece. And he's looking to try to sell some of these and not mass produce them, but you know, make them for people that are interested in kind of doing like a diorama piece for the armor. And I don't know about you guys, but I might be in the minority with this, but I think the armor is a good figure, but at the same time, a little on the boring side. I think if you can add something cool like this, it definitely helps the figure out a lot. So hook him or get a hold of him. Okay, so if you want to put up your IG, I can show that on the screen here as well. But you know, they come lit up. I recognize some of these pieces. They look like heavy duty metal, but then yeah, it kind of lights up too in the display. So definitely something that for you Star Wars fans could put the display over the top. We're also going to be doing a giveaway for him in January. So we're going to do some sort of entry where you guys can win one of these. But so maybe you want to look into doing that. Otherwise, you know, hit him up and get more information from him on maybe prices, how long this takes to make, any other questions you have. Let me just see. I think so his Instagram is is right here for you too. So look him up on IG. He's done some other stuff too with like Mando and Yoda, like some fog effects too and stuff like that. So some really cool stuff that can kind of make your display stand out a little bit more. So go check that out and let him or I know if you have any questions regarding that. Let me move on here. I think that's pretty much it. I'm just going to change this up. Let's go blue tonight. Feeling a little blue.
Ooh,
I like blue.
Right.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
All right. Let's see who's joining us tonight. We got Aaron Jones, Star Wars. So I put up a poll, if anybody's not aware. I want to know what you guys think of Skeleton Crew. If you're watching, if you like it, if you don't like it, if the third option is if you basically gave up after Trashalite, thanks Christian Crosshair Cooper. But yeah, Star Wars is dead in the water right now after all the film cancellations and all the poop shows. I just gave up. All right. I don't blame you. Of course, Queso Blanco is here, waiting for Andor 2. Not even gonna try to have hope anymore. We got Valkyrie Magnus. Good to have him as always. Good evening, guys. Let's have a fun live stream. Brad Cormack, good evening to you. Full-fledged winter storm right now. Be safe and stay warm. Nomar, what's up, Wolfpack? What a perfect title for this year. Yeah. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Like DC was kind of like the icebreaker. Now it feels like it's getting a little tougher to sift through some of these figures. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the difference that we have in all of our lists. We got Christian Crosshair Cooper, of course. Always a pleasure to have you, my friend. Stacy joining us. Good evening, Wolfpack and fellow collectors. Got the Ben Thomas show. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hey, everyone. Jazzy's, of course, ready to go. Wolfpack Wednesday. Universal Key, good evening to you. Darth Kibbles, my good friend. Glad to be here. Thank you for, we're glad to have you. He is a super fan of Wolfpack because I know he'll watch the replay. Like, that's how I know you're diehard. If you can't make it to live, you watch the replay. So I appreciate him and his dedication to the Wolfpack collection obsession. Hello there. Let's see. Nick's Collectibles. Sup, y'all. Thanks for the intro shout out for the Wolfpack. We need to get all four of us up front and center, though, for one of those intros. That'd be cool. We got Brandon in the house. What's up, fam? What's going on, my friend? This guy has a great collection, shares it on the Facebook groups, has a lot of really cool stuff, but it's not just 1/6. There's helmets, there's statues, there's like 1-to-1 scale like statues as well. So it's pretty cool. Go check him out on Facebook as well. I'm sure you've seen him around. Chris Santos, thank you for being here, my friend. What's up, Jedi Knights Watch? And Wolfpack, how's everyone doing? Doing well. I'm starting to sweat a little bit in this onesie and this Santa hat, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well other than that. We got Giovan. Good evening, everyone. Hello, my friend. Gio is here as well. Good evening, collectors. DLO, the Giants will never get a decent QB. No one wants to play for them. Man, that's
Seems personal, Aaron.
yeah. Malik Neighbors seems a little what's the word? Down in the dumps.
I would be too. He just wanted to clarify that he did not buy the plane. That was the only thing he wanted to get across. I respect that. It wasn't me. That's all I got.
It wasn't me. We got Hammer of God. What's going on, my friend? I feel like he's one of our insiders. Like, he's always got prices for things right away and just always has the know it all. So good to have him here. Feel to burn. Hey, y'all. What's going on, my friend? Let's see. Striker 47. Good evening, Wolfpack. Secure the Iron Patriot today, but that Winter Soldier might get revealed tonight. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we're gonna maybe save that Winter Soldier, I think, towards the end, just in case something pops up. I don't want to talk about it twice. So, not that it's not cool. I just, I don't want to.
There's a high chance if you stick around, we're probably talking about it anyway. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't want to speculate, and then it gets announced or anything like that. So, Derek is here. Good evening, Wolfpack. Good evening, Derek. Thank you for being here. Queso showing the Module Case link if you guys are interested in that. Man, I don't know. It's when it comes to the hobby, it's just a life changer. That's all I can say. And it's not for everybody, but it's a life changer. We got Kirby, one of my friends from the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, you can talk to people like me, DLO if he shows up, Brick if he ever shows up, and Kirby always in there. So come find us on the Discord. It's a lot of fun. We got to get that thing going. I feel like it's been a couple days, so we'll fire that bad boy back up. I was worried about Skeleton Crew, but it's not bad so far. It's just Goonies in space right now. That's pretty much it. But not in a bad way. It doesn't feel. It's starting to feel a little more Star Warsy, Brick. Like they're starting to like.
Yeah.
You see Jawas, you see droids, but it definitely doesn't feel classic Star Warsy. But it does feel like a good story. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Intrigued.
Cool thing about it is my kids are enjoying it. So this is like a good time to get them into Star Wars. You know, they're 7 and 5. So like if they're enjoying this story, they might want to get into it even more for like the prequels and stuff like that, because now they kind of know the galaxy a little bit, and this might be their entry into Star Wars, which, you know, sounds kind of bad because, you know, our generations and stuff, like we want our OG or the prequels at least, but like, you know, nowadays, but it's better than Trashlight, I'll say that.
Yeah, and I thought for sure my oldest would watch it. She watched Bad Batch with me, and the first scene I was like, oh no, you're not even starting with the kids. And like they're starting with the pirates breaking into the ship, and I'm like, come on, let's get to it. And right before the kids come on screen, she just walks away. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, nah, I'm done. I'm like, you haven't seen the kids. I'm like, come back in here. And she's like, nah, I don't really care. I'm like, dang it. So then tonight I was like, you know, Margot, really watching the show. I really think you'd like it. There are a lot of kids. She likes the elephant guy, the elephant boy. I'm like, oh, Neil. She's like, yeah, Neil. I'm like, well, maybe you want to watch it. So we'll see, man. You know, Bad Batch took a couple tries too, so we'll see.
Boy.
Oh, we got D-Dot. What's up, everyone? Thanks for being here. We got Thrawn's Office. Always a pleasure, my friend. I like Skeleton Crew. I'll say it. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's weird because I like it, but in a way, it doesn't feel Star Wars. So I'm like, I don't know how to feel, but I like it. So we'll keep watching. It's not Landman, but it's good.
It's cool to know that there's like other stuff that happens throughout Star Wars instead of just like all these, you know, Darth Vader and stuff like that. There's actually other life stories going on. So it's kind of cool to see. For sure. Dealer, are you going to give it a chance?
I think I might, but I think I might wait until like the show's done. Like I don't have the urgency to go out and watch it now.
Sure.
Because
Rick, you know how many episodes it is?
I don't.
I think I heard 8, if I'm not mistaken. Like I read
usually it's about 8.
It's a sweet number lately for shows.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see what's up.
All right. We got Krivis 1138, Evening Wolfpack and Chat. D-Lo, awesome collection too. It really shows you took the time with each figure to get them perfect, high quality stuff. Yeah, I mean, the poses were really good. Like it makes me feel like now just all my stuff's in a straight line and I need to mix it up. But
yeah, I was going to do a tour at the beginning of the year, and it's going to be delayed until 2026 now.
And you better believe Steve's will be delayed till about 2027. So
yeah.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
Of course, Queso Blanco, throwing up the Discord link for you guys. All you got to do is click. If you haven't, create a login or whatever, an account, and then just join the chat. Hit us up, and stay in contact. We got Clinton Martin joining us tonight too. Howdy, folks, on lunch. All right, what's up, Clinton? All right, that is everybody. We got 51 in here. Pretty solid start. Let's just jump right into this thing. Let's go and share this screen. So, man, anybody see this coming? Like, just timing with Hot Toys is just wild, right? Artisan Moon Knight. Is this 2,500 figures?
2,500.
2,500. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the Artisan, and then we got what's the other one that we got? It is
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight with sculpted hair, non-limited run, so this will be readily available. I want to get your guys' thoughts, and let's just have a conversation. Jump in, but I want to know why. I want to know why. Like, why do you think this is happening now? Obviously, when Moon Knight came out, Artisan wasn't a thing, but still, it's just weird. So they're calling this one like battle damage. So obviously the suit is going to be dirtier. I want to know like what you guys prefer, clean, dirty. Does this kill the value of the first run? And then we'll kind of get into Mr. Knight a little bit too, because that's at least different. A lot of people wanted that for a companion piece with the Moon Knight. So I want to focus on this one for right now. What do you think of the head sculpt, Oscar Isaac? And B, let's just talk about some of those other things. And before we do, I'm just gonna let this guy in as well. We got Steve, friends and family.
Ooh,
What's going on, my friend?
hello.
How are you?
Always pay F and F. Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Ready to talk about this figure. Great introduction, Graham, to really kill the hype on this one. But yeah,
I have no
let's
interest
discuss.
whatsoever. So, I liked the show. I didn't think it stuck the landing very well, but like, it's one of those figures when it's announced, you're like, yeah, that looks really cool, and I'd love to have it. But then as you wait longer and longer, like for me personally, it's just not one I need. So then that kind of dies down. And you're like, there's just other things to focus on. So I'm just gonna stay in my lane when it comes to this one. I can admit how I think he looks really good. I think the likeness is there. I don't know. I still have concerns about rooted hair, especially when it's this short. Like I feel like it's easier to do the wool hair or rooted hair in general when you have like a female character longer hair. I don't know. Maybe the weight holds it down more. It just almost like a drape cape, like it just lays a little bit nicer. What do you guys think? Is that something to worry about, or you think this is going to turn out pretty awesome? You know, we saw the Iron Spider as well.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as this one, I mean, this is freaking beautiful, man. I'm not gonna pull any punches. This one here is on that border of, is this a figure or is this a real person kind of talk, you know, especially the artisan rooted one here. It just really, the realism on this one, I mean, they've all have looked good, you know, to an extent, but I think this one here, quite honestly, I don't know if it's just kind of the lighting of it there, but it looks like Oscar Isaac, like dead on like him there for sure. So, I mean, to kind of answer a couple of the things that you brought up there, as far as like, does this kill the value of the original? Knee-jerk reaction is yes, but honestly, it doesn't. It really doesn't. There's 2,500 of these they're going to be floating out there. Now, will it hurt like some of the return value you can get on the figure? Sure, absolutely. It's gonna take a little dip, but it's not going to be like an absolute waste of a figure, because this is the limited one. Now, if Hot Toys decided to go the other route and make this one the one that was not exclusive, and Mr. Knight was the exclusive one, that would absolutely kill the original for sure. But they're not. This is the limited one. That one's not. And also, this is very, as much as it's a beautiful figure, I think the battle damage is what's way better, because that was the big complaint about the original. It wasn't weathered enough. This one obviously fixes that and throws in the head sculpt rooted. How many people are honestly going to use the head sculpt, though, if I'm going to be honest about this for a second? Like, how many people are really genuinely going to have their Moonlight like this? This is kind of like compared.
I don't know how many are going to have two, because then you could
use this head sculpt.
Like, I don't
Mr.
want there
Knight?
to be an overreaction, like, because naturally the first thing we say, oh my gosh, this is a reissue, this is a 2.0, this is that. I mean, all valid concerns, because that's usually how these kinds of conversations happen. But I want to put it in context over here, just like, this isn't Batman. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Batman fan, but the duality of the character here. This isn't Bruce Wayne. I would challenge anybody on this panel here who can actually tell me who Moon Knight's name actually is.
Oscar Isaac.
No, there you go. No. You see but you know, I'm laughing, but you know, you're proving my point there. This isn't that type of character, right? So this is like for the person who's chasing the ultimate, right? This is for the exactly 2,500 people that want this here. Now, if you want to double dip and you don't care about getting the artisan one, right? If you get Mr. Knight, it comes with a very, very excellent Oscar Isaac just sculpted instead. And you can play around with who gets the head sculpt at any given time, right? If it really means that much to you there. But I mean, if you already have one, I don't feel like you absolutely need to get this unless you're a super fan of Moon Knight. If you're someone who missed out, I would 100% put my hat in there to see if I can grab one of these here, because there are people who are still looking for Moon Knight. This is excellent for them. And for those who are Ultimate Moonlight fans, if you get lucky and you get one of those, then you can still sell yours for a reasonable price. But I don't think this is the same type of conversation we normally have about figures tanking because another one came out. I feel like for at least in Hot Toys' defense for this one time, probably the only time I'm probably going to defend Hot Toys in this situation, I think they got it right with how they did it this time. They made Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, the non-exclusive, right? Which you can get a head sculpt if you want one, if you already own this, right? And for those who really want the official Moon Knight suit, we're going to make a limited one. It's going to be this, and you're going to be paying probably twice what the retail is of the original one there. So let's not forget that as well. So either way, I think this one is probably the best that Hot Toys has done, is managing what they want to produce and how that's going to affect collectors who supported the first one. So I think this one, it's not a bad one like the last couple ones we've had.
Yeah, I think Clinton has a good point. I think Hot Toys knows the audience, and that's why it's just limited 2,500. I think Steve said that he thinks this will be an easy one to get if you're really wanting it. So just show of hands before we kind of dig deeper. Anybody for sure going for this on whenever this is? One.
Well,
Yeah,
let me say,
so-
I have the first one, so I'm pretty happy with mine.
So you're good with
Honestly.
just what you have.
Yeah, I'm really good with mine.
What?
Like, it's
and
great
I don't
if
want
I
to get
didn't
too far
have
ahead
it,
of
I'd be
myself.
all in trying to get this too, like everybody else. But I'm very happy with mine. It's fantastic. It's the same exact figure, just a little bit more weathered, and it comes with the head sculpt. If I really, really wanted to, like I said, I can get the Mr. Knight, which looks like it's going to be a great figure as well too, or I can always get it loose. But I mean, you're going to be paying an extra. Let's call this is probably going to be another $400, maybe $450 figure, give or take, depending on
Oh yeah.
what Hot Toys wants to charge on Friday for this here. You're paying up to get this if you really, really want it for the fact that it's the character, not because it's limited. But I mean, if you, like I said, if you already have it, I mean, I saw this and I said, wow, this is cool. And I went on with my day because my Moon Knight is really good and I have no qualms with it. So I'm going to enjoy this one from afar, and whoever gets it, I'm happy for them. But it doesn't move the needle for me to feel like I need to get rid of mine. I think it's great.
Rick, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think in reality, the reason they did this is because of how loved the first figure is. Everyone is talking about it. Finally, a good cape. It looks amazing. But I still would say that there are a lot of people that would rather them work on an artisan, I don't know, artisan Thor, I mean, anything really.
Come on, give us that Thor already.
This is completely random, as you know, we were kind of saying, but I agree. Everything DLO you were saying, 100%, 110%. Something I was thinking too is like this head sculpt. I don't know if it would fit on Mr. Knight so that you could have the rooted. That would be pretty cool too, that you could use that. But I just I don't see the need for this. And at 2,500, sure, they know their audience, and obviously there are some people in the comments that want this figure, that are excited for it, just like every figure. But there are other artisan figures that I feel like they could have worked on. This show, it's one season, the ratings were okay, nothing too crazy, too special. I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked that we got this before they officially announced, the other Deadpool figures, and certain releases that, they could have been working on. But it's kind of, especially at the same time, they give us a Mr. Knight, like it's a lot of Moon Knight right now for what? And that's just kind of my mindset. Like there's no new show coming out, season 2 or anything like that. At least anytime soon. We don't think unless he shows up in Captain America or something.
Season? Does anybody know?
What's up?
Did it get greenlit for a second season?
I have no idea.
Has not actually.
Yeah, I think
There's
you're right.
talks of the
Like,
second one, but it
it's a
hasn't been
lot of
greenlit.
Moon Knight for. It's just
Yeah.
Hot Toys being Hot Toys. Like the timing is just so weird. But I think it's a good thing that they did limit it, because I think it would sit around if it was just a normal release, like you said. So,
and it's a really good looking figure. I think it might, I wouldn't say it's one of the best artisan figures, but it definitely looks really good. It looks just like him. I'm just not a big Moon Knight fan, and that might be why I'm saying a lot of these words. It's just, I'm not. I watched the first couple episodes. 10 out of 10. After that, it just like every episode got worse and worse. It just went downhill from there. I love Oscar Isaac. I mean, I'm still waiting.
It kind of went like this, and then kind of came back down towards the end.
Okay. I mean,
kind of didn't stick the landing a little.
I'm waiting for his 2099. I need that Spider-Man. Wish that had a head sculpt with it, but you know, it's just not for me. I'm gonna pass on this, and yeah.
Oh, well said. No, I agree with you a little bit there. Steve, how should people feel that have the 1.0? That is there a reason that people might feel salty, or has enough time passed? Is this different enough from the 1.0? Does the 1.0 still have value? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, well, everything you guys, just said is the exact reason why I said this is going to be easy for anybody who wants to get it when it comes out on Friday. Because like if Sideshow has 2,000 of these, I think you're going to have like a split camp like it already has been. There's not really like, I mean, exactly what DLO said. Like this one you have like a greater weathering effect, though they look different enough to where I think you can have a preference whether or not you want like the more weathered look or like the more damaged look versus having like the really clean look. And then you have some people who say, oh, the first one was too clean to the point where they didn't like it for that aspect. But I don't think there's really any reason to be salty about this one. One thing though that's already been happening with this figure, unfortunately, is this was one that was kind of holding value, but even before this one like got announced, like Moon Knight's been like kind of tanking randomly. Okay. And I think that that's also part of just like we've been talking about, collectors are getting hit with so much stuff and things are coming and going, and it's like, oh, I'm going to offload my Moon Knight now because there's all this other stuff coming out. Moon Knight isn't really a big deal anymore as far as the show goes. But it is a phenomenal figure. It is one of, in my opinion, like one of the best figures outside of that like little ankle peg issue that seems like Deadpool has like the same type of issue. This figure is very cool and has like, you can pose it. It doesn't really mess up the suit. It is a really good looking figure. And for me, like I actually enjoyed the show, and I thought Oscar Isaac, like he killed the show. Sure. Like anytime you can portray more than one character the way that he did, like his acting in the show, I thought was just awesome. So for me, really the only reason that, I'm the only way that it works for me in this case is getting this one and Mr. Knight, because this is not a figure that the rooted head sculpt is going on. But also typical Hot Toys fashion. What do? They make this with just a rooted head sculpt. They make a Mr. Knight with a sculpted, and then they basically get you like, if you want a sculpted version, then you got to buy both. If you want the head sculpt that's sculpted only, essentially. So for me, the move is to get this in Mr. Knight and then put the rooted head sculpt on the Mr. Knight body. I think that's like the coolest look and that's a representation that I like the most personally. Yeah. Having like, I wouldn't have the head sculpt really on this figure. I think like, look at just how this figure looks with the full, like with his full outfit on. I couldn't put this head sculpt on this figure and only have this as like my main representation as Moon Knight. Like the head sculpt would have to go on Mr. Knight for me personally. And I think that's like a really cool look. Like I'm already thinking about, you see people who have the So Toys Mr. Knight who have posed him next to Moon Knight, and I think it looks awesome. So getting the ability to put, the rooted head sculpt onto that, I think that that's going to be something that's really cool. I prefer the battle damage kind of like, I guess like the weathered look.
That was my next question for you guys.
Yeah. But it's preference. I think it was a smart move and kind of I'm glad they didn't just take the OG and not do any weathering. They could have been typical laziness and just given us the same exact figure and threw a head sculpt on it and changed nothing. The one thing is they go from doing this like the crescent moon base to doing this generic hexagon stand. Like that is, I think, like,
yeah, like what the, and they were showing pictures of like Thanos's base.
Yeah, they're showing that little, and like that little like rock piece, right?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he must. I wonder if he's coming with some sort of like.
That's so bad.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get like something like that, but then you get this, and I think the first base. I don't love the bottom piece, but I do like the kind of like the moon backdrop. I think that's actually like kind of a cool part, even though it's really like not great quality. I still think it looks cool. But it's just, I mean, it's just also going to show now that Artisan is basically like, I think it's solidified at this point that Artisan is rooted hair, an updated sculpt, and then minor upgrades to whatever else they're doing for the figure. And that's really it. You're not getting any other really exclusive factor like we were talking about.
And the upgrade part is debatable, if I can.
It is. It is.
Tweaks at best here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, going back to Anakin, I mean, why do we still not have leather? Why are we still dealing with? So I mean, it's just like, it's very minor. It's just like, honestly, now Artisan is just more like, it's just rooted and then slight tweaks to make it slightly different. Like, I agree. I mean, outside of the head sculpt itself looking fantastic, the little bit of weathering but a downgraded base, it always feels like there's something like that's like, you're not getting like a premium of everything. You know, you're kind of picking and choosing parts that are premium, and then the other parts are they're just there. They're okay. But yeah, I agree with you, Steve, 100%. It's just Artisan doesn't really do much other than, for me now, just say it's going to be more money and it's going to be slightly better than what the other stuff is. That's just as good, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's
kind
of
of
like
me. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, you guys know me. Like, I'm still kind of that old grumpy guy when it comes to rooted hair too. Like, don't mess with the sculpted. It works just fine. And, you know, like, I'm still kind of good with that. Like, I don't know. So we'll see. Like, I think the only Artisan figure I really have on pre-order is Widow. And Jack Sparrow, but I mean, Jack Sparrow, let's be fair, is Dread, so that's not really gonna be anything you're gonna have to mess with. But
speaking of the hair, though, the hairline really bothers me. It's way too straight, but you know, that's just me, probably.
I will say though, like, as far as for short hair rooting is concerned, this has been my favorite one so far out of all the short hair figures they've done. I feel like the type of hair, the wool hair that they use for the rooting process seems to always be wavy naturally, even when the character doesn't necessarily have that same hair texture. With Oscar Isaac's hair texture, this really lends a lot of like likeness and accuracy to it here. So for this one here, like for the short hair, I will admit, again, if I didn't have my 1.0 and I wasn't already very happy with mine, I would absolutely jump on this suit just because it looks so damn good.
Yeah. So is anything fair game now? We've seen Moon Knight, we've seen Spider, you know, short hair. I mean, so
yeah, Star-Lord coming, baby. Let's go.
I mean,
that's gonna be Star-Lord. That's so hard to do.
I think it's just, I think
Chris Pratt doesn't even like his own hair.
I think it's also like, I mean, we know Inart came in and started doing rooted hair. I think this is also like Hot Toys solidifying that they're just gonna, like, they're the top as far as like how much product they can put out constantly. Like, they're gonna continue to just like put out a bunch of figures. Also, I know, like, did you guys ever see that photo of like Oscar Isaac? He was doing some interview where he had actually like figures in the, like, I'm pretty sure he's a collector. Like, he has a Hot Toys Moon Knight, which I think is cool too. Like, it's always cool. I wonder if, like, did that have anything to do with it? Who knows? But I just feel like that's also a cool piece, like him like being a collector too and getting like the head sculpt and stuff like that. I think that is something cool.
Imagine having your own figure. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That's goals, man.
Be like Nick's Collectibles.
Yeah, Nick's Collectibles.
Now, this is a few times in the chat, guys. I don't want to overpass. It's like, what do you guys think about Poe Dameron? Do you think that this leads to that eventually? Because I would love to have one, but I know I'll probably be in the minority in that there, simply because, I mean, it's the new trilogy. It's well documented how much people don't like those. Do you think Hot Toys would go to well and go back to a Force Awakens Poe Dameron, or maybe any of the other movies?
Anything's on the table.
But that did so bad for them. Like, they really limited like 1,500 pieces. I
feel like it'd be an easy figure for them to do. Like,
you could take this sequels.
You could take this head sculpt. You already have this head sculpt now. You could take this, put some sculpted hair on it, and just change the hair and make a Poe Dameron relatively. The outfit is not anything crazy special for them to make.
I'd rather have Elephant Boy, honestly.
Neil?
Yeah.
Poe would be cool, man. I would be intrigued by cool. I guess it just depends on what your take is on like the sequel trilogy, and like if you at least thought the Force Awakens was like, I know a lot of people still like the Force Awakens, for what it was.
Good.
If they ever
made, like, that could draw some people in.
If they ever made a new Rey, I would.
For me, Like it's New Hope Light is what it is.
Yeah.
A lighter version of it there. So it's not too bad, but yeah, Last Jedi, Skywalker. Jeez, I'll never get over that line. Sorry, had a flashback.
Honestly, The Force Awakens kind of irritated me because it wasn't its own story. It was just kind of piggybacking off of
It was.
the original trilogy. So I was just like,
but I gave it a pass because I felt like that was like, okay, this is how to get a new generation into Star Wars by kind of also honoring the past. I gave it a pass too, but
yeah,
man,
I don't know.
Last
I mean,
Jedi, bro, Last Jedi broke me.
I think it would have to be limited, but they haven't done anything though where they've, and again, Artisan is a newer line, but they haven't done anything where they've recycled. Well, they have actually. They've done the Joker, where they've recycled the head sculpt and done a different figure. So potentially,
I honestly think it's more likely than not. Like you don't make a head sculpt this good without. I feel like Hot Toys, they make these really good head sculpts with the future in mind of we're going to reuse this head sculpt at this point. So like I feel like this is one where they could easily do some type of Oscar Isaac, another one for the future for whatever maybe.
We got Collector Joey in the house joining us tonight. We got Jose Hernandez is also here. We got the Hot Toys Nightmare. Hello there. We got 12-inch Moose Dream and Batman collectibles. Thank you guys all for stopping in. Just want to give you guys a shout out. Thanks for being here. Darth Kibble says, I don't see any sequel stuff coming out with how bad the Force Awakens stuff sold.
Lingered longer than anything from Endgame.
Yeah,
what about an Artisan Ray?
Nah, I tried Ray.
I'd rather have an Artisan Kylo, dude.
Yeah,
if they did like an actual Artisan Kylo, which I think is going to happen.
He's the best character for all three movies. He's the only one that salvaged his career. Let's be honest.
Here's an interesting thing. They could eat InArt's lunch and start doing Dune using this Oscar head.
Oh crap,
dude!
He'll give them ideas, Kirby.
Yeah.
That's unfair.
Yeah, maybe Hot Toys can make Dune figures.
Dude, I really want them to.
Dude, that would be. I think that
I
would
would
be
keep my
big.
InArt though. I think I would keep my InArt, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't. I think this is like almost too specific to just say this is a one and done to do this good of a head sculpt and just be like, oh, we're never using this again. Right. It's just it seems. Well, it seems like they got
if it was Dune, like it would have to be new sculpt. They would have to have a sculpted beard. They're not going to root the whole beard on this here too.
Oh, so. Sure. I just mean like taking like you have Oscar, you have something a likeness.
You got a good start. Pull. Yeah.
I just closed the poll. Sculpt, man. Damn good sculpt.
We got 35 votes.
Good.
So Moon Knight 2.0, 48% not interested, 25% going for it, 17% keeping the 1.0, and 8% getting both. All right. So there you have it. Any final thoughts before we go over to Moon Knight and Mr. Knight?
I'll just say Hot Toys are starting off hella strong because their head sculpt game over the last 24 months,
dude,
has gotten scary better. Like it was always good. You'd always find something to complain about there, but I think more times than not, I feel like Hot Toys is getting back to doing like no brainer, it's going to be good kind of style head sculpts again. I really feel like they're starting to hit their stride again. So,
unless
this is a good start for 2025,
unless it's Batman or Catwoman.
They do that intentionally, dude. They do that intentionally.
The other thing
I'm
is
up to like 19 Batmans from the Dark Knight. So yeah,
I feel like
coming back for more.
I feel like the one head sculpt, it's like almost like if they can get the artisan ones like this. I know we've only seen like a couple artisan figures now, but if they can get them to match this or like be really, really close, like that's going to be, if this is what we get very similar to this, it's crazy. One, the figure that I just opened, like Balin, that head sculpt is so good, man. Balin that just came out early for them to like get the head sculpt as good as they did. It's pretty impressive.
The thing that bothers me though is that they spend more time on these characters, like side characters more so, like Moon Knight, than they do on the GOAT, Tobey Maguire, right? Like everybody wants a good Tobey Maguire head sculpt, wants a good Tobey Maguire Spider-Man at that. I mean, we've had decent ones, right? But like not like this. You know, like they
went
went
with Mantis, like hell of a figure, and I'm thankful, but at the same time, you can do a Mantis spot on, but you can't do a Batman for shit. Like like I don't know. Hot Toys is just a weird company.
It's weird,
you
man.
I wonder if they
I
do
think
some of
they're
that on
calculated,
purpose.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like the Batman thing, it's just like it's impossible to take that many swings and get them wrong that many times. like Nick, for example, brought up a point when we're talking about Anakin Artisan, and I brought up the point about, you know, why is it not leather? You know, why are we getting these little tweaks but not upgrades for everything? And the same goes with Batman. If they make an excellent Batman head sculpt and it's accurate, are you going to buy it again? And the answer is no. That's where it is with that. And Batman, just like an Iron Man, just like a Spider-Man, that prints money for them. They'll make more of those.
It's like Apple products.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why put it all
a new
out?
number on it
Yeah,
and sell it's the newest one. So that's the thing about figure collecting. It's just like they're never going to intentionally give you the perfect figure, because once they do that, you're not going to buy another one. And that's the harsh truth of it there. But yeah.
Until they go up against NART with the Batman, and then they got to like work their butts
There you
off.
go.
And
And
you know
then
what
we
I mean?
win.
Then they're like,
There you go,
okay,
we
let's
win.
do it 89 Batman in art. Come on, push Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I tell you, when we had that whole crazy announcement period when they were doing like armory this, armory that, I said on a stream with Graham when we were talking about it, like, I'm going to wait for NART to do theirs. I'm going to 100% wait for them because they're going to do it. And at that point, I'm going to be like, your move, Hot Toys. Let's see what you got.
And Hot
not,
Toys
I'm gonna buy
can do
the
it.
NART
They
one. You
can
lost
do
my
the better
business.
figure. Hot Toys can do the better figure. We know that. But like,
Yeah.
it takes a good push for them to actually
A swift
do
kick
that
in the ass is
sometimes.
what you're trying to
Yeah.
say. But yes,
right.
exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, the Hot Toys Nightmare says Back to the Future 3 DeLorean just released. We can take a look at that a little bit later.
Ooh,
Let's go to the Mr. Knight.
already releasing stuff. It's early. We're gonna get a lot tonight then.
Mhm.
So sculpted, obviously they could just use a sculpted for Poe or Dune or anything like that too. So I think this one would be the most likely to be reused, just because it's going to be more mass produced and whatnot. But this looks cool. I know a lot of people during the show wanted a Mr. Knight. I don't know how many people have like changed their tune since, especially with so much stuff coming out. I think he looks pretty good. I see. I don't know how though. Either figure, as good as those head sculpts are, I don't know how I could display them with the head sculpts. I think the costumes are so unique, and kind of like you said, Deal, like it's just hard to display them that way. And I know Steve wants to put that one on here, but I actually like this look. I don't know if I like it more, but it's more unique to me, where it's almost like it's got more style. I don't know. They both look great, and I don't think I personally could use the portrait on either one. But
this one reminds me of that G.I. Joe. What was his name?
Snake Eyes.
Snake
Or
Eyes.
Storm Shadow.
Yeah. Snake Eyes. Just the way the mask is, not the actual colors. But
do you think anybody would want this one as their only Moon Knight? Do you think this is like more of a companion piece, or do you think people would actually have this as their Moon Knight?
Well, with the character, he has multiple personalities, and he has different forms. So I say,
but not
yes.
everybody can. But I don't think everybody's going to get multiples, right? I don't think.
No, that's where I was going to go with this here. I don't think it's going to be a multiple situation. I think kind of the answer to the question you posed was going to be like, yeah, I think someone will put this as their primary Moon Knight, simply because some people really like Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight is actually pretty dope of a character. It's ironic. It's the same person, but it's a different character at the same time. But he's.
What's up, Tristan?
I kind of agree with you there, Graham. I kind of, in a way, I kind of want this one, but I already bought one, and I don't want to have two. So I'm gonna go with just the one I had. But honestly, if someone decided they wanted this one only, I wouldn't blame them. This is gorgeous too. I mean, these Moon Knight figures, they're killing them with them here. But yeah, you just got to be a huge fan to say you're gonna get one more than one. I'm happy with just the one personally, but I can see people picking up a couple.
Anybody worried about the all white? Wearing gloves? Don't care. Think anything will yellow over time?
It doesn't bother me. My snowsuit widow hasn't yellowed. There's so many figures now that my spider one isn't yellowing. White doesn't bother me. I think it depends where you're at, where you have your figures located.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. What about the hair? The hair look pretty good on this one.
Hair looks great in my opinion. They're just they don't miss on the sculpted
Dude,
hair.
their sculpted hair is
So
just
good.
nonstop. We saw it with Cap last week. We saw it with X23. It doesn't matter the length. It's perfection.
I almost would want one of these as a Oscar Isaac representation as opposed to the actual character, because I love him as an actor so much.
Yeah.
And I think just everything he's been in is so good. Wasn't he in Robin Hood as well with Russell Crowe? Wasn't he the king or the prince or something?
Was he? Could be.
I thought
Really?
so. I thought
I
that was one of
remember
his
that one
first
there.
ones too. But I just remember everything he's been in. He's been really good in. So like, I don't know. It's almost weird where it's almost one of those figures I wouldn't mind just having for his representation, but then at the same time, I don't think I could put the head sculpt on because the outfit is so cool too. So it's a lot going on in the head there that makes you kind of think. I think this looks like money right here.
Yeah.
This, like, I know some angles, maybe kind of like Captain America, it looks a little too wide in the face, but like this looks just chef's kiss.
Those gloves, man.
Look at them gloves. So Steve, you're getting both, right?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would like to. I guess the good thing is like, I mean, we talked about this with Artisan. You don't have time to decide. Like, this is Friday.
That's the problem.
So that's the other thing. You have to put down an NRD, and if a year from now or whenever this is, what is this slated for? Like, I think it was late 2025, early 2026. It sucks. I have to put down an NRD, and if I change, no, there's
nothing on this one.
No price yet, but I think Hammer of God had mentioned like in the 430 to 440 range or something, 420 to 440 range
for the artisan.
Based on for the artisan. Oh yeah, for Mr. Knight. This is 255.
Wow.
Yeah, this is 255
bargain,
on
dude.
This is
bargain.
this is it's funny, we now consider this like a bargain. So yeah, 255 is now a bargain, but that's pretty like compelling price for this. I also wonder, like, I don't know, man. I think this is kind of partially why they did the artisan too, is like this figure is kind of a win-win for them, because if you get the artisan as your first one, like you're going to want this, and all the people who have the originals, look at all the people who bought the So Toys one, right? Like people are going to want this figure, I think, as a companion piece. I think that's a big part of it, but that's my vision for that figure. Like, I always wanted a Mr. Knight to go with him. Like, I always saw those like the third party one, but I never, like, it's really tough. Like, I'm pretty picky about third party figures just in general. So like, I feel like I'm glad I waited at this point and didn't get the So Toys one. But yeah, we'll see. That's what I would like to do, because the rooted head sculpt on this, man, looks like, you look at this sculpted, like you put the rooted on this, it's gonna look, it's gonna look really good too. So
yeah. Obviously, it doesn't come with a ton, so that's probably why your price point's a little bit lower. But I still think it's a pretty good value. You get the portrait plus the masked version. Good set of hands, plain base, but
hey, same base as artisan. Why not?
Yeah, man. Artisan base.
Touch your tongue. That's an artisan base you get with a regular figure. Get it right.
Yeah. No, this looks cool, but I'm probably gonna have to pass on both.
This is hard. I like this one a lot, but I'm not giving up my
this is really dope.
Like, I already picture like both of them back to back. Like, it would be incredible, like in a mono, for example, having Mr. Knight and Moon Knight like back to back. That would look so crisp in a display case. But I gotta be on a strict diet when it comes to Marvel.
You gotta be responsible. The thing I'm thinking too, if I own the 1.0, I think the only reason I might be a little salty is not the fact that I feel like I have to get this, because like you said, I think the 1.0 is great. I prefer probably the clean version, and I prefer having the masked head sculpt. So that's fine. I think the only thing that might, I wouldn't say upset me, but bother me, is the fact that Hot Toys is just killing the value on. And Steve did mention it's been kind of going down a little bit. I guess I haven't seen that. I thought it was still kind of solid because it wasn't really out there. But you might know more about that than me. But I would just be maybe a little bothered that another figure that isn't that old, that you're kind of just hurting the value on, And do we think with not only the artisan version, I get that it's 2,500, but do we think at all that this might hurt the value of that 1.0 as well? Just flooding the market with just Moon Knight in general, or maybe not so much?
Well, if I can just add something to that real quick here, I think this is somewhat revisionary history when it comes to how Hot Toys is kind of strategically putting these figure announcements together. Back when the original Moon Knight came out, I mean, we were still somewhat in COVID at that point in time. So a lot of these figures, a lot of these TV shows specific for Marvel didn't really do so well. I'm looking at like She-Hulk, for example. I feel like this is just the Hot Toys going back to the Marvel well, just because there was money left on the table. And since there's something else that they can create, they're basically going back and seeing if they can make more money off the product that they invested in the first time around, which is normal for them if you really think about it, because in most cases when Hot Toys does something new, newly developed this, newly developed so this, they usually try to milk it and try to get another figure out of it. So
are you saying we're getting that Hawkeye since season 2's coming and everything, you know?
Well, I can't speak on that. That would be nice. That would be nice.
Come
but
on
actually,
now.
you know what I was actually getting to here is I was actually thinking more along the lines, I can see something like She-Hulk coming out, Artisan this time around.
Artisan.
And that would
Dude,
be
it's gonna
interesting.
happen so much.
That would be interesting. So
Yeah.
The only good news is it's going to be limited, and I don't really care about rooted as much. But
I think like at
go
what
ahead,
point
Steve.
does it? I was just gonna say, at what point did these not go limited anymore? Though, like it's going to it's going to happen at some point. I mean, unless they're happy with their marketing strategy of like everything just selling out in like smaller amounts. But I feel like when you have the power to just create as many of them as you want, like what's going to stop them from making it so that's not limited to make more? Like, I feel like we're already trending in that direction with the way technology is going for figures. Like once they figure out a process to root quicker, I feel like that's going to be something that it's just going to become more and more common.
yeah.
What's up, Frank? Thanks for being here. 81 in the house. Hit that like button and subscribe to all these boys' channels if you haven't already. But I bet most of you already have, because we are a tight-knit community when it comes to being Wolfpack brothers out there. So thank you guys so much for watching us each and every week. It's a lot of fun. Thrawn had something interesting too. He said, something so empowering lately for me to see something and say, meh, I don't need it. What a change from the rookie I was 2 years ago. I'm like a dude who can swat away hates at a bar like nothing. No, but he's right. Like, I feel like I've come into my own the last 6 months as well, where, I can say no a lot easier. Like, as cool as this is, I always try to think to myself too, in a year when things wear off, like the newness of it or the excitement of a new announcement or release, like, is it going to be something that has that long lasting impact with me? Like, is this something that has nostalgia and a love, or is this just something that I think looks really awesome and is cool? Because I don't want to be selling figures. I want to keep things for the long haul, maybe sell as the 2.0s come out or something like that and upgrades, but trying to say no a little bit more. But I also feel like it's almost like ebbs and flows with that too, where maybe you have a month where you weren't as strict maybe as you usually are, and then you have a month where you're super good. So, but no, I agree, man. And I think also because there is just so much coming out, if you don't want to tap out, that has to be the mentality of, this looks really cool, but I gotta pass. And I know Brick is pretty good with that too, where he's probably the strictest of us four when it comes to what figures he's getting and whatnot, and he's got a clear vision of what his collection is going to look like. And like, as cool as this is, and I hear you guys talking it up, and Steve, like, how awesome it is, like, it makes me want it, but at the same time I gotta be like, well,
I mean, listen, I'm super proud of all you guys here, man. Like, listen, I've been doing this longer than everybody. I've been preaching like, hey, watch out for this, do this and all, and sometimes I can come off like kind of a Debbie Downer, but that's not the intention at all. It's just the fact that, like, if it was up to us and we had blank checks, all right, then we'd buy everything, because none of this stuff is bad. None of this stuff, even if it's not partially your favorite thing, you got to give it its flowers. It's really, really nice. But I mean, you also got to look at the economics of it there. You also got to look at the value of these things. I mean, all these things in collecting long term play such a heavy role in the longevity of how long you can do it for, because you can easily price yourself out of the hobby super fast because you buy everything, right? And then eventually none of that stuff means anything to you. You're selling it, you're getting pennies on the dollar for what you spent for this stuff, and then eventually you just kind of kick the bucket, but not because you don't like the stuff. It's just like you get negative about it and you find yourself just being down on the hobby. And the truth is, you're not wrong for feeling that way. It's just that you got to find a way that you find a sweet middle spot to where you can balance your likes and loves for something with, realistically, how much of this am I going to really want 6 months after the hype's worn off? Because a lot of this stuff is so much hype that it's just like, if you fall into it one too many times, you're going to start resenting it. And you don't want to collect that way. You want to be able to say, I like something long enough. It's going to stick around with me for as long as I want to be here. And, I'm just happy to kind of be around for the ride. And some things I can just say, meh, I'm good. And that's great. I'm happy for you guys. I really am.
Yeah, well said. And Striker says, so are you going to pick up that second DeLorean that just released, or are you good with the hover conversion? I'm going to get both. No, I'm just kidding. We're just talking about no, I'm not getting that. But we'll take a look at it in a little bit. But honestly, sometimes it's one picture too. Like this picture is speaking to me of how good this figure could be or is, and it's tough to say no sometimes. But and like Steve said, with these artisan figures, you don't really have the time to contemplate. Is this something that I love? And I did that with Loki. Even I was like, I we were talking about that. Like I just didn't feel like the value was there for the artisan. I like the sculpted. Wound up pre-ordering it and then kind of like resented myself for doing that and whatnot. So
I remember that.
So
instant regret.
Same thing. Like that's how they get you too with these artisan ones with the limited numbers. So at least you have like a couple days to think about it, but you also don't know price. So I know for me, price comes into consideration because I'm buying out of my own pocket. So you don't know until you're in the queue or getting into the actual sideshow, and then you have 5-10 minutes to buy this, if it even goes into your cart, right? Because a lot of times they'll say error. So yeah, you kind of got to move fast. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm just praying for all you guys that you do well, because it's tough. It's tough.
I think one positive thing is hopefully, and it's hard because like Hot Toys is doing so many. Like we saw it back. The one that I think about is Arthur Fleck when they did like the Joker, artisan Joker from the Arthur Fleck or from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, and it sat. Like that was the first artisan figure that actually sat for a while. And that was a time when they were just pumping out figures like left and right. That was like Dark Side pumping out figures. They had that big event with like Artisan, Spidey, all those figures, and Joker just sat. I feel like that's like Hot Toys needs to be careful, because I think there's the good part about Artisan is we talk about stuff like becoming like collectible. They have like the ability to like, if you're going to limit stuff, you have the ability to kind of like turn the tide with what we've been dealing with if you try to make some of these things more collectible. But when you're doing it at such a rapid rate, like stuff starts to sit, and then like people just like lose interest in that, and then it doesn't stay collectible. So I feel like they need to try to like strike a little bit of a balance, because like I like this, like we always talk about like being drawn to stuff that's collectible. Like I've always said, limited stuff is cool. They could use this also as like a way to get it more hype back into the hobby of like, okay, this is actually something that's collectible. Not everybody has it, but like I feel like lately everybody's just been like drowning in invoices if you get multiple figures.
Yeah, for sure. We got Commander Green joining us tonight. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Always good to see you in the chat.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
birthday.
Sorry,
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Commander Green. Do we all want to sing or?
Yes.
Sure.
Happy birthday to you. It's off.
10 people.
Happy birthday.
Commander Green.
We tried. It wasn't pretty. So happy birthday. Let's move on, because we got a lot to talk about. I want to wait on that one. I want to go to Nebula, because this one might be a little quicker. She she looks good. She released a day or two ago. Commander Green says I'm blushing. Thanks, guys. Yeah, cheers. Cheers to Commander Green on his birthday. We are we're honored that you would be spending it with us for a little while, so thank you. Okay, this is another one. We're just talking about it basically being disciplined. I already have the Infinity War one. This one looks awesome. But I don't think I can start down this line. I need Drac. I need to complete this line if I'm going to start this line, because I already have these figures in Guardians of the Galaxy form. So it doesn't make sense, as much as I gush over these figures and want these figures. And I love Nebula, and I loved her in the third one. I don't know. Maybe if this one is laying around down the road for like a nice discount, or people start moving it to get the new things, I could see myself picking this up and maybe just putting her in the spotlight cases here or something. But I don't know, man. It's just tough for me. But what are your guys' thoughts? I want to start with Brick, because you are the one of the four of us that has entered the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 line. You have Star-Lord and Groot. Could you see yourself doing this? Can you do a trio? Do you need them all? Where are you at with the line? Because I know you got other stuff you're collecting.
Yeah, you know, she looks amazing. I can't say anything wrong with this figure, but since the beginning, I kind of told myself that the only two I need from this line are Star-Lord and Groot. Eventually do that back-to-back pose that I've been wanting to do. But I mean, I like you, I could see myself getting her one day, but as of now, I'm not rushing to pull that trigger, because if I get her, then I might as well get Rocket too, and then that kind of defeats the purpose. And I mean, we have so many figures that are going to be releasing within the next 30 days, I'm sure. And I mean, you're talking Ahsoka, you're talking Across the Spider-Verse, and a couple artisan figures possibly. Like it's going to get. I mean, we just got a DeLorean released tonight, so you just got to be careful on things that I'm 50-50 on. It's a no-go right now. So. But man, she looks awesome. And Graham, I will say this again. I said this on a stream a long time ago, but I remember seeing this movie with you in theater. And as soon as this scene came on at the beginning, you turned to me and said, "Figure."
Figure.
So
yeah, and they didn't let us down. And I was hyped, man. I thought they might give us the whole line, and especially when they actually teased the whole line. That's when I really thought they would give us the whole line. So shame on me.
I still think we'll get a Drax at one point.
Probably.
Yeah,
it's just by that time I'll be more pissed because there'll be an art,
and there'll be artisan figures from the first movie that people want more.
There you go. There you go.
The timing is
always
going to be off.
Yeah.
DLO, could you see yourself in a year and a half, 2 years, having most of this line 2 years down the road? Could you see that? Could this be like forgotten figures that people just dump, and then you're like, I'll pick them up like when you feel it's right? Or is this just something where no Drax, no deal at all type of thing?
Yeah, I wanted to get these figures. I mean, it's well documented. You and I have been gung-ho about collecting this whole line when it was announced, like you said, with Drax there. But I mean, this is going to go down as the biggest fumble in recent memory for Hot Toys, because this one was an easy sell to everybody if you just delivered a Drax. That's all you had to do. You put it out there. You said that you were going to make them. You teased that you're going to make them, and you still, to this day, we still don't have one, which is
the problem is this is the third figure released, not announced. This is the third figure released.
Right.
We're basically teased.
We're past that there.
Fourth.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're either going to be super late to the game, which is always possible, right? Or what you see is what you're going to get for a while. So, I mean, for me, like you guys just saw my collection tour. I mean, I have all the Guardians. I love them. I mean, recently picked up Mantis. I'm literally one Drax away from completing the team. Why would I go out of my way to pick up everybody I already have if all I need is the one guy that you won't make? It just doesn't make sense. If you made him, you would have forced my hand to get the team, which I would have been more than happy to do, because so far, I think the Rocket set looks good. Some people question the head sculpt. I think it's pretty good. Groot is fantastic. It looks amazing. Star-Lord, best Star-Lord we've ever seen, right? And this Nebula is even better. I mean, look at the money shot there. That'll sell a couple figures for you easily, right there. They
must have that Hera lower body.
They're getting real good at these figures, guys. Anyways. But everything's getting real. But no, I mean, if they just made the Drax, these would already be in my collection right now, truth be told. But I'm not pulling the trigger on this one here because I already have everybody but Drax. So no Drax, no buy for me, man. But if they did it, I would have bought it.
Now, if they finally do a Drax, let's say they announce it Q1 or Q2 of 2025, are you disappointed that they didn't do the, like, at that point, like, why didn't they just do a 2.0 from, the other movies?
No, not at all. Like, honestly, that's on them at that point. Like, at that point, now I'm going to play the game right back. If they decide they're going to go back now and finally announce Drax for this movie, you know what I'm going to turn around and do? I'm going to play their own game in front. I'm going to wait for them to make the Guardians of the Galaxy one that I actually want.
Yeah.
Because this one would be settling for a Drax just to finally have a Drax. And I'm okay with that. If the timing was right, you call me at the right moment, like I said, I would have scooped up all these figures here easily. Not bad an eye. But if you make me wait this long, I don't mind waiting a little bit longer to get the exact Drax that I want instead.
That's a great point. Like they've already damned themselves either way. So even if they do announce that Drax now, they'll have the head sculpt. So people will just wait for that iconic look. So that's a great point. Like, not something I even thought about it, to be honest. Like, you would think if they're doing one, they're doing both. But
Hot Toys. I mean, we started off the show hot with Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, double dipping, right? It's the game. It's the name of the game when it comes to Hot Toys. They're going to find a way to make their money off of whatever R&D they're going to put out into any figure they produce. This Nebula, I looked at this Nebula, by the way, beautiful, but she is practically the end game one that I already own, minus a couple modifications to the head sculpt. But that's identically her. I love this figure. I love this figure. I really do. But I wish Hot Toys would have done instead. I wish they gave her the angry sculpt instead. The war cry. Nice. I think it would have been fantastic. But yeah, no Drax, no buy for me, man. It's a shame because I like all these figures. I like every single one of these.
Be cool to put her and Star-Lord in the driver and passenger seat of the DeLorean.
Push it in.
Open the door.
Steve, we kind of know where your stance on this line, but what thoughts do you have here with this Nebula? She turned out pretty good. You happy with it?
Looks great, man. I mean, it's just DLO nailed it. Just saying, like, this has got to be the biggest fumble in like most recent memory. You have like the best sculpts you've done on some of these characters, and you're not completing the team from the movie that's literally about the team of the Guardians. It's just baffling to say it out loud. I feel like we've had this conversation so many times, like, and I wasn't in on this, but this is like they do 3 of the 5 Bad Batch. Like, it just it's just such an odd choice to not do it. We just talked about this so much, but honestly, I'm at the point where I want the ragtag versions. I want the OGs. And also we see what's happening with Captain America, Winter Soldier, 10-year anniversary. We're going to get an artisan Winter Soldier. Well, August is like the same thing is Guardians of the Galaxy 10-year anniversary. What's to say Hot Toys isn't going to then, or this year, potentially, like, I guess as a potential prediction, that they just redo they do a 10-year anniversary on the OG Guardians. Like that, at this point, I'm so far removed from this that, like, I'm just going to wait until they redo the originals, because I've been very patient with getting into Guardians, and now I feel like I'm just at a point where it's like, I'm not doing team suits. It's too late. I don't want to go back because we see what's happening with everything that's getting 2.0. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the inevitability of them redoing like from whatever they end up choosing to do that isn't team suits, which I think is, I don't know why they wouldn't just do the originals. I feel like that's probably going to end up happening. So I'll just keep waiting. But yeah, it's a shame because it looks really good. Like, this is like, yeah, they're like Dilo said too, the head sculpts that they've been doing lately are just like, they've been nailing them. So yeah, it sucks. It's a shame for the people who want the whole team. If you like, also, I see some people in the chat saying like, oh, I get some, I have these ones on order. Great. And I know, Brick, like, you have the Star-Lord and Groot. Like, if you're good with just having part of the team too, totally fine. I'm just more of a, like, I'd want all of them together.
I'm just so passionate
I have no
Guardians about it that I want them all. So
like,
like that. Maybe I should thank Hot Toys, because if they did do Drax and
thank you, Hot Toys.
Mantis, I would have had the ragtag and Guardians 3, one shelf and then the other.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, if they
Maybe. I mean, I think so, but I guess you never know. But man, I don't know. I love the Guardians. Like, it's my favorite Marvel stuff.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, if they do the first movie again, like the 10-year anniversary, like Sneaker was saying, I will get all of those as well, and still keep these two here. But because I like that OG look better.
Greg, let me ask you this: what do you think is Nebula's best look out of all 3 movies?
Honestly, this one.
Yeah. I was gonna say part 1. I like her villain look more.
Oh, the villain looks cool. Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about like her little jetpack thing in this one, and her. Yeah, she looks good. The suit looks good on her too. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool looking. Yeah. Groot's liking it back there too. So, it's I do want that Cosmo though.
Yeah, same.
Cosmo. I need Cosmo too. If anybody wants to part him out. Brick, question for you. If they made the whole line, would you be more inclined to get the whole line, or are you still just good with?
No, I'm still just good with Groot and Star-Lord. I'm with you guys with the rest of the, if they redo the first movie, that's where I'm heading towards.
Gotcha.
But I like the third movie so much that I wanted a piece of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I still consider even Star-Lord. I just don't know how he fits, but that is the nice thing, excuse me, of having the figures over here too. I'm losing it here.
This picture made me sad. I was going through the pictures, like the blogger photos and Nebula, and I just came to this one. And I'm just like, this has got to be the saddest picture of the year right here. Seeing this, like, why did they do this? They should have left this one out.
Little lights.
Don't show us all these without the other ones. Just man.
But I find it hard to believe that Marvel, aka Hot Toys, more specific, is done with the Guardians. I can't see a world where they are. Like, I can easily see, like, one that desperately needs to be remade. Aside from obviously giving us a Drax, we need a new Gamora. Like, big time.
100%,
big time.
Artisan Gamora.
With the eyes, dude. With the eyes, man. I'm telling you, that's the big part. We need another Gamora.
And a Yondu. It's gonna piss everybody off, but that's gonna happen.
I ain't mad at it. Because that Yondu's so good. Like, it really had to blow my socks off for me to upgrade. But I'm not mad at that.
Let's see here. We got Anthony in the house. Says, just a quick shout out. Anyone that wants an update on Toys Wonderland, aka Toys Apollo, is now called Comic Toys. Stay away, stay safe. Yes, if anybody is new to collecting, please stay away from Toys Wonderland, aka Toys Apollo, aka Comic Toys.
Let's change it a third time. Maybe they won't notice.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Mary Poppins, y'all. That was an amazing scene too. So, all right. Well, we will keep our fingers crossed, but you better believe. Is there any other Guardians on pre-order? This is it, right? We missing
all of it.
The last
I was going to say, you better believe we'll talk about this the next time another one's released, because those are just the feelings. But this is it. So, yeah, we'll see. All right. Let's talk about this little tease here for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the DeLorean, and then we'll do our Marvel figures of the year. So Hot Toys teased the Artisan Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Obviously, Captain America came out last week, so this is obviously coming. I think we kind of knew. We kind of knew this was probably next. It makes sense, being Artisan. I think the head sculpt is going to be revamped, and I think the hair is going to look good. I think this is going to be a great figure. It is one I've kicked around getting here and there. I don't know if I need it again. It's going to be one of those I really got to take a look inside myself and see if that's a need. But first impressions when you guys saw this, what's going through your mind? Excited, going for it, indifferent? What are you looking for with the figure? What's going on in your head? Anybody can jump in. Steve, if you want to jump in first.
This is one that I feel like has been kind of a rumor, I guess, if you want to call it. I call it more of like just an inevitability at this point that this was going to happen.
Ooh, big words.
Yes, very, very large.
Inevitability. That's 7 syllables. That's a big one.
This is like, I mean, with them redoing Cap, you knew this was happening 100%. Like, you're not going to do you're not going to do the Winter Soldier 10-year anniversary without doing a Winter Soldier. So that
When
was
this
just
is-
100% going to happen. But dude, this is really exciting because like we talked about, when we were talking about the was that last week before my internet stabbed me in the back when we were talking about Captain America. Yeah, man, this is exciting because like I said, this is my favorite MCU movie. So it's weird how Hot Toys will do these weird photos like this. Like this is one, like why this one versus another figure where they tease a shot like this. It was like and then they did the weird video with the anti-venom suit Spider-Man, like where they show a video showing the figure, like that's their teaser, and then they review the figure. It's very weird like how they pick and choose what ones are going to do, like why this one. Yeah, it's just weird Hot Toys decisions, man. Weird Hot Toys decisions. But yeah, this gets me really excited. I'm wondering, like, if you zoom in, like, what's the situation on the vest? Because I know that's like the biggest issue, right? Of this just peeling for everybody. Like this, people are buying like secondary or like third party leather replacements. Like you cannot make this pleather. Please don't. Please do not make the same mistake. You got a Terminator. You got to go Terminator on this figure and put a leather, like a leather on here. But we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting one to see if they do like a sculpted. I guess I have more questions than answers, but I'm excited. This is one that a lot of people have been wanting. A lot of people calling for an artisan. This is going to be a really cool looking artisan when he has like the mask on. That is going to look so badass. That's exact with the rooted hair in the mask.
Yep.
That is like everybody wants this version of Bucky, right? So it's going to be this is a hype one for I feel like myself and a lot of other people.
So do you think it'll only be an artisan, or do you think they'll do a sculpted too? Kind of like what they did with Moon Knight, but obviously it'd be the same figure. They've done it with like Jack Sparrow and a lot of the other ones.
I think they'll do a sculpted.
I agree, and I think it's due. I think it's an older figure that's probably due for an upgrade, so I'm okay with it.
10-year-old movie, you know the rule.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
They're gonna make like 4,000 of these. I bet it's probably gonna be like 3,500 to 4,000 of these. I feel like. Yeah,
Hammer of God says will be tough to get. I think there'll be a lot of people. Obviously, Marvel's popular, so I think that'll be one you're gonna have to get in line for. Man. Yeah, definitely going to be a fight in the queue system for this.
And it's going to crash 1,000 times. People are going to get pissed.
It's going to be a nightmare, but
it's going to be worth it. Not fix the whole cart error. Like somebody else has it in the cart. I tried. What figure was that? Oh, Harley Quinn. I tried for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like every figure at this point.
Yeah. Like I feel like one of us every single time, unless it's one that doesn't sell out.
I've never had that problem.
Son of a gun.
The only problem I had was the cloud flare, when it would just like literally the site would straight up crash, and then you just refresh it, you spam refresh over and over again until it finally just reloads. That's happened, but yeah, that card error is crazy.
Queso says, but will they do an artisan widow from this movie? I think with the state Marvel's in now, and honestly, Star Wars is the same way. Like nobody's really putting out really great content at the moment. Like they should go back to this stuff that was super popular, 2.0 it, artisan it, whatever the case may be, and kind of like you said, go back to the well and give us these. I'm kind of coming around to 2.0s a little bit more, or artisan figures, but it's gotta, like you said, DLO, it's gotta be like enough time pass where I feel like it's due. I don't like the Batman stuff where it's BVS and it's been maybe not even a handful of years, but like I don't mind improving my collection because I'm also saving space. So like let's just take Iron Spider for example. I can see a lot of the proportions are different, the head sculpt is amazing, you know, all that stuff. Even the spider legs are just bigger and just more accurate. Like that's perfectly fine, whatever. Like I'll upgrade those figures, or Terminator, Terminator's a tough one because I didn't think that one needed it, but some of the other ones, and again, that's going to be subjective to my own feelings, but I'm kind of coming around a little bit more to some of that because I also do want the best representation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I said this last week. I mean, 2.0s is a good thing for the hobby when done right. When done right, it's a great thing for the hobby because it essentially rewards the early adopters, people who bought this when they originally made the first one. They had a good long time with their figure to enjoy it to the maximum amount they can enjoy it. And hey, there's people 10 years from now, in this case here, just using this movie here, who didn't have grown-up money, who watched this in the movie theaters with their parents, and now they're grown-ups and they have money and they can afford this. So they deserve a shot at getting this as well too. Well, if you really are happy with your 1.0, great, keep your 1.0. But hey, you've had a good time with that one. If you want to get this upgraded version, there's nothing wrong with you selling yours and get rid of this one. There's nothing wrong with losing a couple bucks. You had 10 years. Not everything has an appreciation value as much as a figure, at least at Hot Toys is. So, I mean, yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, as long as this comes with some of the fixes for the original issues of the first one, like Steve alluded to, the pleathering, peeling issue, that was huge. I mean, if you guys have ever seen those posts before, it's like, seriously, it looks like someone got mugged. It's terrible. But and then I've seen people pay really expensive prices for custom made leather suits, which is like a whole nother figure in itself, just to fix the figure they have. So hopefully they get it better. I still think there's gonna be some pleather in it, but maybe they might use some of that textured overlapping material to kind of make it look like leather, but not still be leather, but still cheaper than leather, something like that, to make it better. But yeah, I mean, this is a figure I wanted as well too when I got on board too. So like I missed it myself as a collector. I can find everything from that particular movie, but I couldn't find a good condition Bucky. So fast forward to now that they're teasing this and Hot Toys, I pray to God this is not just a tease and you're going to actually announce this tonight or something like that. I mean, everybody and their mother's going to want this because this is the best version of Bucky of all the Buckies that have either come after it or they plan on making after. This is the definitive Winter Soldier. So yeah, this one's going to be a madhouse to get to because if they do short numbers like a 2,500, I don't think there's going to be enough for everybody. I think this is easily, for how popular this guy is, this one warrants 4,000. Just like
that's to me too.
I think 3,500 at least.
Yeah, I mean,
at least this one.
Have they done anything with 4,000, or has it mostly been 35?
Yeah, Jokers were 4.
Right?
Widow was 4.
Joker, Artisan Jokers were both 4, I think.
Okay.
What about Luke? Was Luke more or less? Maybe less.
I thought he was 3,500.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I don't know, but like
an artist,
this is gonna be a tough one for me.
Perfect Bucky, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is tough because I definitely want this one, but want and need is a little bit different these days. So
yeah,
do I need him for my display? Probably not. But gosh,
yes.
Maybe you know what I should do, because this will probably come out on a Friday. I'll take off of work that Friday morning. I'll watch the Winter Soldier, and I'll watch Captain America when we have the the whole airport scene, and then I'll just get the blood and the juices flowing, and be like, I'm getting this figure, and it'll be done. You know?
Didn't you just say when when you were talking about Moon Knight, when the novelty wears off?
I know, but I also said with
the
the Artisan, you don't have the time to think, so I might just have to do that to get myself psyched.
This is one of those ones I feel like it's like all the other Buckies I haven't even considered whatsoever because it's just an instant pass. Like this is the only one that
especially the newer one from the series. Like that one, no offense, I'm sorry, DLO. That one feels a lot like Professor Hulk compared to normal Hulk.
Wait,
is there a place the Captain America, the series,
the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I don't have that one. That thing is shit.
Yeah, like it's not it's not the iconic
shit
Winter Soldier that we want. And I understand there's a place for those figures in your collection, but like for me, I'm with you. Like I want this one, or
I have Infinity War. Just if anybody cares to know that one's the second best one. I have the second best Bucky. I don't have that. Yeah, I saw that one in person. His head is like, hey Arnold. It's like huge. it's
moving
really
football head. Yeah, I look at this and do I get to say anything about it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just moving us.
I'm gonna put myself on mute, buddy. Go for it.
No, it's fine. No, I look at it and I mean, this is a figure that I think we all assumed would come once Artisan was talked about, right? Like the first Artisan figure, we're like, okay, what other Marvel characters can they do? And Winter Soldier is one of them, even before we saw Captain America, right? This is a figure that comes from, I would say, top 5 best Marvel movies out there. It's Winter Soldier. I would definitely have the mask up, by the way. I guess my thing too is like they're making this Artisan figure if it actually comes, which I'm sure it will. I think it will. And like you guys were saying, like use the head sculpt for Oscar Isaac for other figures. Like they could use this for the new movie coming out with what's Thunderbolts. You know, like I don't know exactly what that look would be. Obviously the hair would change, but as a head sculpt, you know, and it's good timing for them too. And I look at the picture and I'm like, okay, is the arm die cast? Is it plastic? Kind of looks plastic to me. Probably wrong. Hopefully it is die cast. And then you guys were talking about the vest too. Like, is it leather, pleather? Like, what is this? Like, if it's Artisan, stop pulling this, you know, Scarlet Witch leather bull crap or pleather bull crap. Like, if it's Artisan and it's up there and it's limited, it needs to be leather. It needs to be die cast arm. You know, it needs to be rooted hair, obviously. But like, if you can give leather to the T-800 battle damage, this is easy. Like, just make it happen. So, but if it's a plastic arm, if it's pleather vest, I'm still buying it.
So you're in no matter what?
Oh, I'm in no matter what. This is badass. This is cool.
Jordan wants to know, why are you meh on Winter Soldier 2.0? Are you indifferent toward the character? I like him, and I've kicked around the idea in the past of getting him. It's just Marvel is something I enjoy, but it's the third tier when it comes to DC and Star Wars. So then it's I've been pretty okay with like having the main Avengers and then having the Guardians and then kind of just solidifying that. So it's just, do I want to add him in or not? And the reason I guess you could say maybe I'm meh or undecided is just because there's so much other stuff coming that takes higher priority in Star Wars and DC. So it's more undecided. I think he's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. But also the price tag of Artisan has kind of not been something I've been a fan of. So I've been definitely steered more towards sculpted when it comes to these figures, so I can save a little bit of money. But yeah, so hopefully that answers the question. I was going to ask one more thing, but I can't remember. So
Graham, where do you like? Where's this movie fall for you? Like just within, like just kind of the Infinity Saga movies, like Winter Soldier. Like, is it high on your list of top, or is like?
It's towards the top, but it's not like. I mean, obviously, Infinity War and Endgame are just like amazing.
Yeah, like solo movies, like not including those ones. Like,
I love the Guardians. It's probably one of the better ones because Black Panther was okay. The Thor movies I'm not a big fan of. Ragnarok was really good. I do like that one a lot. I do like the first Captain America. So like, yeah, I mean, it's probably towards the top of those movies. You know, Captain Marvel was very average.
I didn't like the first Captain America.
Someone asked me the same question right now.
DLO,
where do you rank it, DLO?
Where's the rank up at the top?
Numero uno.
Hey,
best MCU movie, baby. Best MCU movie.
Like,
I would.
Part one. Sorry, real quick. Part one is a decent Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Avengers still wasn't sold on Chris Evans as Captain America. Part two, Civil War. Obviously, that's fantastic. But Winter Soldier was the put respect on my name game for my man Cap. Cap at that point, I was like, okay, Cap.
Yeah.
I was not familiar with your game. My man crushed it after that. So for me, it's just like, I thought Captain America was always a corny character. I'm sorry. He just didn't really do it for me as a kid. Wasn't a big fan of his. But dude, I'm telling you, after Winter Soldier, that changed everything I thought about the figure, the character. Wait, no, did I just read that right? No way.
Is this real? This is real, dude.
This is real.
This is real.
It's real.
Oh, Jazzy. I'm
Let's
sorry,
go.
man.
New game plan, new game
Jazzy,
plan.
Thank
Switch,
you. I like
switch
this no
it.
Star Wars talk tonight, baby. Let's go.
What?
Plo Koon.
Come on, man.
Ooh.
Looks
What are
like
they
a
doing?
Oh my goodness.
ball sack for a head with a mask on it.
Best looking ball sack you ever seen.
Wow. Wow.
What's this? What's this
Damn.
branded? Just Star Wars?
And they gave him the Clone Wars armor from the animated. Dang. Keep going.
What?
Steve, are you getting this?
Nope. Passed.
What? Let's
Dude,
go.
those
All the
excited.
give us all the Jedi, man. Look at this.
Yeah,
Bonus
Jedi
gauntlet
man is
from
exciting.
Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series.
Whoa, you see who he's standing next to? Spoiler.
I'll get there. I'll get there. Hold on.
Oh, smoke, Steve. You're about to blow your load.
Steve,
I will say I called.
I like
I
how
will say I
nobody's-
called this
Yup.
one. I will say I called this one.
Yes,
we were
you
talking
did.
about it.
Yes,
we were
you
talking
did.
about the Bad
I
Batch
was
clones.
there. I remember.
they're really going about that.
Oh
We're
my
doing it.
Yep.
gosh!
Look at Steve's face.
Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
Oh gosh,
What a
look at that.
tease. What a
Rick, are you
tease.
excited?
Oh man, I cannot wait for this.
No, just keep going.
Oh,
Keep going.
yeah.
Keep going. One more. Keep going.
Oh man, look at
Wolfpack
that.
clones, baby. Wolfpack clones on
Oh.
Wolfpack Wednesday. Let's go.
Wolfpack
Let's go.
clones. You gotta get the Wolfpack clones.
Oh,
Gotta get
man.
those. Damn it.
Damn it. D-Lo, are you in for
Crazy.
this Plo Koon? I mean, we don't even have to talk to Steve and Brick. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna drink his beer and not care about this
Let me
either.
finish
but
this
You're
glass.
the wild card.
Am I the wild card? I've been pretty.
But Plo Koon, are you getting?
Hell yeah, dude. He's a Jedi.
Alright,
100%. 100%, dude. Look how badass he is, man.
Would they put him in here with Wolf, bro? Come
They
on.
put him
man.
with Wolf. Dude, what a crazy
Come on.
flex of an announcement there, dude.
Dude,
I'm
I'm so with Jazzy right now. Like, never seen this guy in my life.
Honestly, it's like you guys are so excited that it's
I
almost.
can't
a letdown
imagine
for
not
me.
getting excited about this. Look at
Well,
this.
dude, I mean, this is a crazy flex. Like, I mean, Wolf deserves
Yeah,
his
it's
own
wild.
announcement, but the fact that they just nonchalantly put him with a freaking little Clune freaking announcement, dude. Excuse me, I'm about to.
Who
pop
the
a F-bomb.
fuck is that? Oh, poor Jazzy. He
buying
thought he
this.
could get away with it.
Buying this. Oh my gosh.
Two styles of
go.
outfits. All right.
Two
Put up a
styles.
poll.
of-
You want to talk about Plo Koon? Or you want to talk about the DeLorean from Back to the Future?
Can I just get a blue beetle? Gosh.
I forgot about that.
Ooh, damn.
Well, let's not
man.
spend like a ton of time on this, but yeah,
Wow.
go ahead.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying we got the DeLorean yet, and we
Yeah,
have
let's-
our top 10. So
There'll be time.
And
and
Winter
place for
Soldier's coming.
Hey, we don't
I
spend
mean-
too much time on it.
he's not.
We already
obviously
said
a
everything we
prominent
need to say.
character
Yeah.
in
Dilo and I
live
have already
action.
said
Alien
what needs to be
lightsaber
said.
wielder.
So
Clone
so
Wars
what
attachments
is
if
he
you like
from
it.
though? He's from Clone Wars
Well, yes, but also
He was in
from-
Revenge of the Sith for
He was.
for a minute. Yeah.
split second.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
So
Plo Koon,
definitely,
man.
this is more for Clone Wars fans.
Well, he was fleshed out in Plo Koon. And Plo Koon was fleshed
Right.
out more in Clone Wars than anything else. But he was also in the prequels as well too. This is dope. Oh my gosh. Man.
He's only got 4 fingers.
Man, imagine the
all he
earwax in
needs.
that guy.
That's all he needs.
That's all he needs.
What'd you say, Brick?
So imagine the earwax and that guy.
It's already coming out of his
Man.
here.
Oh damn, dude. Yeah, this
Well,
is
I remember
Go ahead, Steve.
watching. I don't know if you guys watched like the making of Mandalorian season 2, but
Mhm.
like Dave
Yep.
Dave Filoni said like it wasn't Luke who appeared, it was Plo Koon. Like that was he told everybody that it was Plo Koon who was going to appear and not Luke Skywalker. But this is Dave Filoni's like favorite Jedi. That's like always that's our favorite character. That's like get more wine. Go get it, Jazzy.
I'm getting more one.
Get some Star Wars tidbits and trivia, man. It's just yes, we always what we got Kit Fisto and now Plo Koon.
dude.
It's nice, man.
Joey, what are your thoughts? I'm seeing the yawning face. Like, are you excited?
Of course,
for this?
Joey's yawning because he saw
Oh, yeah, 'cause-
he started watching Star Wars in 2019.
That's
and Mandalorian.
right. I do remember that. He started with the Mandalorian.
Like when
so-
season 4 coming out?
But this doesn't do it for me either, and it's just because I'm the old grumpy
Leaping.
OG fan. So, but I'm happy for everybody else. I just,
Dude, I'm the grumpy OG fan. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, but you're more into the Clone Wars than I am.
I mean, I'm into the prequels more.
It is nice. It is nice to see these figures, and although he looks cool, like DLO was saying, like everything you're seeing right now is good, right? But like, it is nice to get an announcement. And you're like, I'm good. I'm safe. You know, I don't have to worry about.
Too.
You know,
that's true. But point, Brick. Always looking at the positive.
Part of you is now I'm going to the negative here. Part of you is like, well, can we get something else here?
Well, I want that joy that
I want to be excited too. Yeah,
you got to understand though. Like Sideshow made this years ago as well too. People have been itching for this character for years. It's just like when I was when I started out here, like prequels was getting no love at all. You got who'd you have? You had Maul, you had Anakin, Obi-Wan for the hot minute, then you finally got Dooku and Yoda, and then it was like radio silence for years. Then the Clone Wars popped off and they started getting a bunch of stuff. Like now you're getting like the good stuff from the movies. Like I won't rock him in Clone Wars grab there. That's not for me. It's probably Steve will probably rock that more than I would. But regular Jedi and his robes from the prequels all day long.
Steve, you getting two?
No. No, this is just a one. I kind of like the OG. Like it's cool having the ability to do Clone Wars, but I'm kind of like more. I thought about doing that with Mace Windu, but I actually like having them like just in the prequel shelf with their traditional Jedi look.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy two specifically for like a Clone Wars version just to have that, but yeah, I like that. I like Revenge of the Sith, like that look versus it's hard when you this isn't something like I would buy two of, and then just Jedi. I feel like going with the traditional look is always my preference.
Even if you got Commander Wolf, you wouldn't.
I mean, I'm getting Commander Wolf.
No, I'm saying you wouldn't rock with the Clone Wars garb with Commander Wolf.
It's going to be interesting. I think I could change on that depending on the evolution of how far they go with like some of these clones and what they do with some of these like clone kind of battalions and squadrons and stuff of what or different squads. Yeah, of like what other characters are they going to come out with?
Wasn't Plo Koon on that list of characters that Hot Toys is gonna be announcing? Wasn't he on one of those leaks that someone posted? I could have sworn he was. Maybe you're talking about the one that has like the Revenge of the Sith Mace Windu on it. There was a couple of lists that's been out recently here, but I believe seeing his name on one of those.
I don't remember if he was on it or not.
Either way, exciting stuff.
But I mean, as they get more, like if they keep doing like how we have not gotten the 212th yet. Like we need to get some of these other clone troopers in order for me to do a full on Clone Wars. I feel like with their armor and stuff, I'd want like the Wolfpack obviously, but there's other. You have to really build that out in order for me to use it. I just like having that. Like this is sick. Like this.
That's exciting.
This makes you want to use it. This makes you want to use it. But exactly.
Just for what they stand for, you know.
Clone Commander Wolf, though. Come on, man. This is gonna really get the clone lovers hype.
Yeah, especially Joey. Says I actually know this guy from Clone Wars. He was in the first few episodes, and that's about as far as I got into the series.
Can you tell real quick here? I can't see because the picture's too small. Is that Phase 1 helmets or Phase 2?
That's Phase 2. This is Wolf's Phase 2 helmet.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure he's almost like kind of. Yeah. This is his helmet's kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah, kind of like Rex, but just a little bit more.
Yeah,
like flatter.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hammer of God says 275 to 280.
Can you zoom in more on Commander Wolf? Keep going. Keep going.
Enhance.
He's got just some of the coolest armor. Like Wolfpack has some like coolest, just the coolest clone armor. Yeah, that's sick, man.
I got a poll. Make sure you guys vote in the poll. And then we're going to go into the DeLorean.
Looks like a melting candle. That's all I got.
I think the earwax was a better comparison that you made first. That's, get a Q-tip.
Oh, man.
It's nasty.
One Adam 12 is going to wait for the artisan version.
Yeah, no separated eye rolling system. What a jip.
Is 280 a good price for scrotum Obi-Wan?
Oh,
It's kind of odd though. Like, you can get Mr. Knight for 255 and then this guy for what, 280-ish.
Star Wars
Well,
tax.
Kit Fisto was what?
Yeah.
Wasn't Kit Fisto 265? Or was Kit Fisto?
You tell us. You're the resident Star
Supposed
Wars
to know
fan.
these things.
Okay, Kit Fisto was 275. Yeah, so he's probably gonna be around the same price.
There you go. You knew the answer.
He's probably gonna be around the same.
Jazzy's trying to keep us on track here.
Oh, hey, there's
DeLorean segment keeps getting delayed tonight. Not something else or release.
It's the third car.
Did you have the
Stop.
bracket? All
right,
right.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on here. I'm gonna end this poll. I'm gonna give you guys a minute as we talk into the DeLorean. So go vote on that poll though. Okay,
Yeah,
so he's already listed on Sideshow for 280, by the way.
Wow. That was quick.
wow. Okay.
Totes my scrotes.
Uh,
Here we go, guys. Here we go. Everybody's been drinking a little bit, maybe watching the show, and here comes the zingers. So, all right, DeLorean Back to the Future 3 officially released. You got the white wall wheels, which is a nice touch. I do like this too. The nice thing about the DeLorean is all three versions, while they are a lot alike, they have their differences. Obviously, for me, this is a pass. I'm good with version 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, Graham.
I liked the third movie though.
Third movie's great.
I mean, it's probably not as strong as the first two, but it's still solid. You get that.
I
Wild
always
West.
wish they made like some kind of like a base for this DeLorean where you had the railroad tracks on it underneath
That'd
it.
be cool.
That just
Yeah.
would have been a nice touch.
And I don't think they did the figures justice. I felt like these were just kind of thrown out.
Yeah,
Like, here you go.
that's this
Um,
death sentence for this DeLorean. Like it's
Yeah.
it's one thing to put out because the DeLorean looks amazing. I have nothing bad to say about this DeLorean, but like when the figures are not worth picking up, does it make the DeLorean not worth picking up too? That's kind of where you're at with this one here, because they definitely did them wrong. The first versions of Marty and Doc were more well received than these last ones were. But I mean, you got to wonder as well too, like with the Doc from part 1, it was a reuse of the same sculpt from the part 2. It didn't make any sense. And then now these here they just look lifeless. But great DeLorean. With all that said, great DeLorean. It deserves better figures.
Yeah, I mean the fact too, like the hats were sculpted on, and I don't know, it's just a little too toyish. I don't think the head sculpts are strong.
I get an artisan Doc.
I was gonna say
I would
next is
get
the
an
artisan doc.
I
Dude,
just thought about that. I get an
that
artisan
would
Doc.
be an amazing figure because they butchered Back to the Future 1 so badly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they actually put some effort into that figure, can you imagine how good that would be?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd be in for that. So who's getting this? Like what people are getting this? Is it diehard Back to the Future fans? Is it people that just missed out on the other two and they have no other choice? Because this would be the third. This would be the number 3 on which one I would get.
Yeah, I would like to. I guess not like to, but I would think that if somebody missed out on the original one, that they're still trying to get the original one because this one isn't the one they want, right? Like, obviously, this one's badass. It's got the white wall, wheels. It's got it's cool. But I haven't seen this movie, and I know, it's everyone says it's not up there, like you just said with the first two.
See,
but
they
it's
should have
sick.
done that
It's
as
badass.
base.
Yeah,
should have
that
been
would be
base.
cool. But like, I don't know, man. Like if I were to go back, I would easily get the one from the first movie, and I think this is for the diehard fans. I think this is for the people that already have the OG one, and they want this one to go with it, so they can have all of them. But not to say that nobody would get this unless they have the first one, but I think the majority of people, I would say that.
I feel like the DeLorean and the '89 Batmobile are like the two vehicles that you could consider characters.
Ghostbusters.
Maybe not the Tumbler as much or other vehicles.
Ecto.
But I feel like these are like iconic characters in their movies. So I could see people getting numerous DeLoreans. The first person that pops into my mind is Calvin, low-key collector. I could see him getting, a lot of these. But
Sure.
I don't know. It's just tough because I'm just trying to think if I couldn't have gotten in on the volume or the version 2, would I have gotten this one to just have some sort of representation, or would I have just kind of let it go and let it be? I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think something at that price range, like I'd be more willing to let it go, just because if it's really not the one I want, I really don't want to spend that much money and feel like I got the second best of what I originally wanted to get. So that's just
and like you said, the figures, they don't help,
Well, I mean, gosh, it's embarrassing because, and I regret this now. I sold my Back to the Future 2 Marty and Doc thinking that we were going to get reissues. I was like, oh, let me get ahead of this. I'm going to sell these guys while they still have their value. And this is where I went again. They bit me in the butt. They still haven't made an announcement for those. They literally released a DeLorean Part 2 with no new figures for anybody to get those. So I'm rocking with Part 1 figures right now. And some people I think Brady would say that is absolutely a no-no, right?
It kind of works though at the very end of the movie.
It does.
Kind of.
But it does. It absolutely does. You're right. But I mean, to appears like a Breda, he's like, you can't do that. Right. And in a way, I kind of semi-agree with him because I would love to get those. But my point I was going with this here is that Marty from Part 2 is better than the newer Marty and the third movie Marty as well. So they went backwards this year. This doesn't look like Michael J. Fox anymore.
Toyish all around.
Very classic.
I wanted these too. I pre-ordered these.
Sure.
Day one, and then I wound up canceling them.
And I have a soft spot for Part 3. I think Part 3 is a really fun movie. Yeah. Honestly, I wanted the if you remember the movie the Clint Eastwood look he had from the 50s when he was traveling with the pink setup. I was like, I want that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want that one right there. That's the one I'd grab. But yeah.
Steve, any thoughts? You still gonna have over there?
Does this come with Wolfpack clones? Oh, sorry. No, the one thing that came to my mind, which was already mentioned, was I mean, if you really, this is not something that you just settle on because you didn't get the other one. I mean, that's something like at this price point, like I'll just take this one because the other ones I don't have the option. I would just wait it out. I wouldn't settle if this isn't the one that you truly want. I feel like you got to be really like a really diehard fan to want multiple of these in your collection. That's really a bummer that the figures didn't turn out how people wanted. I think that always makes it a lot tougher of a sell when you're like, oh, not really as interested in the figures. Well, that's gonna make the vehicle take a hit. It does look really awesome though. Yeah, it's got some really nice detail. Especially that one shot.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, this looks really good. That one shot of like the one shot of like the interior with the seats looked really good. I mean, it's just a really cool, obviously really cool vehicle, but gotta be I think this shot is really cool. I think it looks good.
Surprising enough, I didn't realize this, but it's still available for pre-order on Sideshow.
I was wondering that if it was waitlist.
805.
Oh, speak of the devil, and he will appear. Here is low 805.
Yeah, I feel like 805 is not a settle price. Like I'll just take this.
Yeah, you can't choose this over the.
Yeah, that's steep, man.
That's more than the 89 Batmobile.
Yeah, Calvin, are you getting this?
That's a tough,
are you getting this, Calvin? Let us know. Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
I think
I do think Back to the Future though is a big enough franchise that they'll do those figures again eventually. So, maybe people just want to put this in their collection and then just wait, maybe in a few years. It's going to be a while because the Part 3 just came out. So you would think that'll be a while, but Part 2 could very well be due. Yeah. All right. Brick, anybody else got final thoughts? I mean, kind of is what it is at this point. Turned out just as I thought it would. The one thing, though, that I hope they changed is the button to turn the power on. I hope it's a plug-in and you don't have to push the button every time. Like it's either an on or like a toggle, like an on or off, and it just stays on. Because with version 2,
Sure.
you gotta take the hood, put the hood open, and then push the button. And then it's you gotta do that every single time. So if you have it hooked up, like I have mine hardwired, but no matter what, I gotta go in and push the button. So mine's never even turned on. Yeah, so that's pretty lame. So hopefully they change that, but I could see them just not. All right. Any final thoughts here? Loki says this is a pass. Too many vehicles as it is already. All right. Well, if Loki's not getting it, I don't know who is. So we got Blurred Dad Life. Plo Koon announced. Yeah, we already talked about him. So you'll have to kind of scroll back a little bit. Steve was super excited. Me and Brick couldn't wait to change the subject. And DLO was excited as well. Brad's going to head out. All right, sounds good, man. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. We're going to finish up here soon, but we got one more thing to do tonight, and that is our top 10 2024 releases for Marvel. So stick with us for just a little bit longer. I don't foresee us going more than the 2.5 hour mark, but I've been wrong before. So that's the goal here. Let's just bring it up. You guys ready for this? Yeah, all right. I'm going to start with Brick because he hasn't gone first yet. I think last time, who went first last time? Steve. Yeah, Steve wasn't even here. But he went first.
Star Killer, I guess. It's okay.
Yeah, we are, because that was your punishment for being late.
You can thank
sorry, chat.
FF.
What's up, Eric? Jazzy
you can
has
thank
been
Graham
put
for
through
skipping
enough.
on that one.
Look at but Jazzy says no Star Killer today.
Yeah, babe, let's go, Jazzy. Converted.
Let's do this, and then we'll see how much time we got. Otherwise, I'm sure Steve has already talked about that, or he will on his show. So there's other YouTubers that can maybe talk about that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight.
Absolute shame.
You got one person to blame, Steven. One person.
Right.
Do not put this
to yourself.
You have done this.
Do not put this
to
on me.
yourself. All right. Move that there. Okay. So, Brick's list, his top 10 2024 Marvel releases. No surprise. A couple Spider-Man figures there at the top. No Nebula. A little interesting there. No She-Hulk on this list. I'm glad you got Mantis on there. I don't see anything that's like super surprising or super egregious. But I do want to ask, what made you put Lady Pool at 8 as opposed to higher on the list?
Because the top 7 are better. I mean, the two Spider-Man there at top are just, I think they're both masterpieces. I think the base that you get with the red and blue suit, the head sculpt, the colors that shine so bright in the suit,
like a diamond.
and then you have the black suit Peter Parker that's just badass as hell. And then you got the gantry there. You got Mantis, which everybody wanted a Mantis. Love the candy cane. Great head sculpt. It looks really good. You got Scarlet Witch. I was waiting for that figure for a long time. And
I could have swore that was last year. She feels like she's already been out and for so long.
It was because the Wanda came out last year.
Yeah.
That was one we were talking about. And they got Deadpool at 6. I mean, everybody's been talking about this Deadpool figure, excited for it. The whole Deadpool line is a huge part of this year. And Star-Lord, obviously, there. We talked about that already, saying it's the best head sculpt. And then Lady Pool, she's part of that. Groot, and then Dead Strange. I didn't want to put a 4th Guardians figure there of Nebula. I thought Dead Strange deserved to be on a top 10 list because
it's an interesting figure.
Exactly. And he's so detailed and so different than everything else that we see. And I thought he deserved to be on the top 10.
I'm glad you put Star-Lord on the top 10. I think he deserves a spot.
Yeah.
I think
I think so. With
amazing.
Marvel.
Yeah.
great head sculpt. I mean, the accessories that he comes with, I like him a lot.
Sneaker, DLO, any thoughts? Anything?
What on this list of your top 10 is something, if you could pick one on your list that you don't have yet, what one would you choose? Because I know there's a couple on here that you don't currently have. Is there one that you're like have an eye on that you want to add in, or what one would you like? What specific one would you add?
I would say so I want to say 7. I have 7 of these either in-house or pre-ordered. And so I'm not going to count a pre-order. I'm going to say Mantis. I think Mantis is one that I wish I could have in the collection. Not saying I can't. I just, that's the one I'm looking at. Even though the gantry's badass.
I got a question. What was your number 11? What didn't make the list?
Honestly, part of me was kind of wanting to go into these X-Men Mondo figures to try to do something different other than Hot Toys, but I'm not there yet until I get a Mondo in hand with these Spider-Man figures, so I didn't want to do that yet. But man, a lot of those X-Men figures were looking really nice with Mondo. And I maybe Nebula. I was even kind of looking at Mark II. I thought that was a really cool figure. One. Yeah, and those two.
I feel like this Marvel is going to be a little bit more difficult than DC. Like, there's going to be some good ones left off just because there are a lot more figures coming out for Marvel as opposed to miscellaneous or DC. So,
yeah,
I think it's a pretty solid list. I think you and I might come together on a couple of them. I think the only thing for me is Deadpool, just because we've seen him before, and I didn't see like anything that was like over, like no portrait sculpt. Like, I don't know.
You hate Deadpool.
Everybody's all over the
You never say anything good about Deadpool.
Grandpa Graham over here.
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to bed.
But it's what Deadpool kind of represented with the Hot Toys figure, like the line.
No,
what he came with.
This is clearly personal. Like, he had something with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I think so.
His wife said one time
I love Free Guy.
Passing, I think Ryan Reynolds is a handsome man, and he's had a vendetta against Deadpool.
Free Guy,
baby pool, like
Proposal.
Man,
of all those movies. Jazzy says no Wolvie Hano. Where's your Hano Wolvie?
Yeah, that was another one I actually considered for a hot minute. I heard a lot of good things about it. I haven't seen that one in person. I did think about that, but honestly, the Hano line really pisses me off, and so I didn't put them on here. I just it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when they came out with the brown suit, and then they came out with the other Wolverine with the skull. Like, I don't know. They rubbed me the wrong way. And as you guys probably know, sorry, Jazzy, but I kind of look at these Mondo figures as a better version of these comic book form characters, because it seems like it's actually coming out of the show. And I like that look from my childhood, being toys that I kind of grew up with, that kind of paint, those paint applications, the realism from the show, more so than trying to make it a hot toy, but it's not. And then, their prices and whatnot. I don't know. And you don't get anything with it. There's nothing you get with those Hano figures. Or Mondo, you get a billion accessories. So I didn't put it on the top 10. But it's a cool figure overall. I heard a lot of good things about it. The arm, the seamless arms, everything about that figure is cool. But when you're talking about accessories and the gantry and the new red and blue suit base and everything that comes with Deadpool, like you basically get multiple figures with Deadpool, and Dead Strange is just totally different. So yeah, had to do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of snooping around a little bit for this for your number one figure, just to see if I could find some sort of a deal. None to be had yet, but I wouldn't mind finding a replacement for my out of date Iron Spider. So, and I do think that red and blue looks cool, because it is also like I gravitate more towards the traditional and iconic Spider-Man, like that bright, vibrant colors. And if I could find something that's like both, where it's that lighter color, but also the Tom Holland Spider-Man that fits into the Avengers lineup, then I think I would do that. So that's something I might keep an eye on for like 2025. Like, I don't go backwards very much anymore. I guess it's going backwards because he's sold out, but I don't know if I consider going backwards because he's a newer figure. But that's one.
They might not ever make another version of this, at least for a long time. Like if they come up with Spider-Man 4 or Doctor Doom or whatever, and he's got a whole different, outfit, like, dude, this is 35 seconds in the end of a movie. They might never do this again. So it's pretty cool.
Time says, I have an extra non-deluxe red and blue, live in Waukesha, 220. Interesting. I got to think about that. I got to think about if I'd want non-deluxe or deluxe, but I appreciate that. Might hit you up. We'll see. Let's see. Scarlet Witch is the most beautiful, underrated figure of the year by a mile. Yeah, I think I like this version better than the TV series one. WandaVision.
The only thing I like it with WandaVision, her cape, the cape with WandaVision, I think, is, and you don't see a lot of good capes in Hot Toys, right? A great cape, and I love that head sculpt a lot. But overall, this Multiverse of Madness figure is better.
Yeah. Iron Dude says, did you guys see Skeleton Crew? Yeah. I think 3 of us. We kind of talked about in the beginning of the show, but so far, not bad. Let's see. Okay. Any other thoughts on Brick's list? It's pretty solid list.
Thanks, guys.
There's so much. Like, honestly, I don't think anybody can get this wrong. Marvel had a really good year.
My list yet?
Yeah.
I think Marvel really had a strong year. So, like, there's gonna be a gazillion variations with this list here. But one that I will say that I'm just not crazy about, and Brick, you're gonna kill me for this here. Probably a lot of people are. I'm not sold on that lady pool. I'm just not.
Oh man. I
can think of, like, honestly,
you gotta feel her in person.
I'll take your word for it. But
my words always come out wrong.
Yeah. Can I get a napkin, Brick? What the hell? Wet wipe. No,
the
but
suit really sticks to itself.
No, and it's not so much the figure itself. It's just like, for me, like, she's cool in the comics, but like in the movie, she just didn't.
It was disappointing.
To really care.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but I mean,
she really wasn't even in the suit, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. When you know that, I don't know. It takes a little bit of.
I didn't know that she wasn't in the suit. She just did the voice briefly.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. I didn't even know that fact. I like it even less now.
Oh, there you go. All right, shall we move on? We're gonna go to my list. You guys ready?
So what you got?
Here's my list.
Ooh. Wow. See some big variation here already.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I see 3 that Brick didn't have. So just some changes there, but then also just in the placement. I do like that red and blue suit, so obviously I put that at 2. So the weird spot that I'm in here is I only own one of these figures, and it's Mantis. And for me, I love the figure so much.
It's judging you so hard.
It's a unique.
I own this one, so I will put it at number 1.
It's like
there's a reason on. But also the reason why I didn't put Spider-Man number 1 is because the Mantis to me is it's a one of a kind. It's a unique figure. It's not a variant or anything like that. So like, if you guys watch the channel for a while, you know that I've been waiting for this Mantis for years. I've done videos on figures that Hot Toys should do, and Mantis was on there. She was in the graveyard for a while. So maybe it's just the fact that I'm being kind of like a homer, if you will, on that Mantis figure. That might very well be true. And I thought about bumping her down, but then I'm like, you know what? Just go with your gut, go with your first instinct, and leave her at 1. And that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm happy. I think she turned out great. The pleather might be an issue down the road, but some of these other figures have pleather as well, so it is what it is. Iron Man Gantry looks great. Not personally for me, but I can admit, like, it has a lot of presence and it was really well done. I think the Star-Lord is a little higher for me just because I'm really impressed with the head sculpt on that one. We had a couple of the same. We We had Wanda the same,
Gantry's the same,
and Gantry the same. So that's pretty decent. She-Hulk, kind of going off of DLO here, and from what I've seen, she does look like a pretty good figure. Again, not something I'm interested in, but the Black Panther is one. It's almost like a guilty pleasure at this point, where I just think in full costume she just looks so good, and that's almost one that, like, I don't buy for the figure, I buy for the character, but that's almost one that tempts me to buy for the figure itself and to just pose with the original Black Panther. So I probably won't, but I do like how that one looks. I got the Mark II on here too, because I just remember when that one was dropped, how cool it looked. It was all like, you could see like all the silver, but then all like the rivets and everything too. It was just really cool look to that, and the base is pretty cool too. So and Ladypool, I saw it at Brick's place, and I thought it looked pretty interesting. And to me, the reason why I put Ladypool on as opposed to Deadpool is because, again, it's more of like the Mantis thing, where it's a one of a kind. Like, it's something new, something that they did where I've seen the Deadpool figures before. So I don't know. All right, let me have it. Let's go,
dude. Great list, good list. But
great list.
There's one that I think you're off on, and I'm not surprised, because I know you go with your heart a lot too, kind of like me. So that's why you have Star-Lord up there at 4. But having Peter Parker, the black suit, at 6 is very shocking, because that is like, I don't know. There's nothing really like that.
Damn near
and
rude,
then
Graham.
with that head sculpt that comes with too, like where the symbiote's wrapping around his mask there. I mean, yeah, that's such a good figure. So I am surprised with that. I like how you have Mark II on there. That's one that I did want to put on my list, as I mentioned. And She-Hulk was actually another one I was talking about. So good to see her on there, because I hear nothing but good things about She-Hulk. I think the only reason I don't have her is because I didn't like the show. But every time I see the figure, including in DLO's tour, I'll bring that up again. Looks amazing, just so good. So great list overall, I think. And I like seeing red and blue up there at top too.
Honestly, this is tough for me too, because I don't have a lot of skin in the game. So, like I said, I only have one of these figures in hand. So, and again, this is more for fun for us to do. This isn't like, oh my God, how can you judge this without having it in hand? Like, we just can't buy every single figure. So we do have to go off of photos and videos sometimes. Or I've seen a lot of these in like Brick's collection, or maybe a couple in Steve's collection. So, we have also seen them in other people's collections too, but it's tough for me, because I think there are a lot of them are very good, but it's hard too when, like, maybe I would like the Spider-Man in hand, more, but because I don't have that option, this is just kind of where he falls in for me. Maybe because, like, for Spider-Man, it's not my most favorite character, so they all kind of like start to blur together a little bit. So that might be part of the reason too, whereas like something more unique like this just kind of stands out to me.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help too. I mean, you didn't play the game, so if there's a game that I didn't
mean much to me,
if I didn't play,
it's a cool Spider-Man figure.
Yeah.
So yeah. DLO, any thoughts?
Your list is terrible. You should just stop ever doing lists like this.
Wait till you see Star Wars.
God, this is gonna be good.
Oh boy.
Jeez. But no, I mean, your list is good, man. I mean, honestly, I'll be frank. I mean, I own Mantis too. I think she's ranked a little too high. That's the only thing I see here.
Well, you know what? My first list you said was safe, so took a little risk.
I mean, listen, I did say that. In fairness, I did say that.
But that was the Batman list. You said that.
But I mean, I think it's a good. Like, I mean, if you're talking from like a character perspective here, I think you really got a really diverse list over here. I am higher on that black suits Spider-Man, excuse me, like Brick is. But I mean, I can understand. I mean, if you're not a focal Spider-Man fan where you collect all of them, it's kind of like a side quest kind of figure for you, right? Where you said your piece for the one that you put at number 2 is because it's more in line with the more traditional one that you like to have. So makes sense. But all in all, I mean, this is a pretty solid list here. I can see a couple of these popping up on mine. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? Spoiler.
Real quick, Graham. Sorry, Steve. I know you're up, but
No, you're good.
I'm also surprised that you don't have Nebula since you said something about that.
I thought about it, and honestly, I think I made this before she was dropped, and I just didn't want to go back and change anything. But there was a very good chance she could have made the list as well. That's a good point. Steve, any thoughts before we move on? Now it's back to Brooke here. There we go.
I'm kind of surprised that I'll talk about when I get to my list, but kind of surprised you have 2 Iron Man figures, and the Iron Man figures that you own are what, Mark 85 battle damage and D100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised like you don't have like one other Iron Man that's like one of like the 1 through 7 where you're like, this is one that I want, just based on how you feel about Iron Man figures in general.
Well, this is 2 and 6 in his defense. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying like that he would want that he would want to own. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like based on having 2 Iron Man figures in your top 10, and then thinking about your collection, you have the D100, which is not like obviously not a movie accurate Iron Man, but then you have the Mark 85 battle damage. But when it comes to like a one of the OG 1 through 7s,
right. I gotcha.
Graham doesn't have one, so it kind of makes me think about.
I had the 4 at one point, and I had the OG 7.
Sold them both.
The plastic OG 7, you mean?
No, it was a plastic 4.
Oh.
And then I had the diecast 7.
You got rid of it? Oh, you're a fool.
Yeah, I sold it when I went on to the 85.
Have you ever thought about getting another Iron Man? One of the to just add into your collection.
Mark 3, baby.
I don't know.
Yeah, either the 3
I like the
or
Mark
with
3.
7 or the 6. Like the 6 is really cool. Is there one?
D100 for me is kind of like the 1, and then obviously the battle damage 85 is more of like the finale. So, and then that's got the Tony Stark head sculpt. So it's kind of like my 2 variants of Iron Man. I mean, never say never, but that's the thing with Marvel. Like, I like Marvel, and I like to have the characters in the collection, but I definitely don't need as many like variants. Like, I'm not going to allow things like Joker or Vader or Luke or Batman where I have more variants. Like, Marvel to me kind of has to just be one and done. Like, the fact that I have 2 Iron Man is kind of like saying something like, hey, I like Iron Man. Like, I can't just have 4 or 5 of them in the collection. But yeah. All right, let's see who's next. Oh, it's DLO the Collector.
Oh, my turn.
Look at this. A couple more new figures. That's the nice thing about all of these releases is everybody's kind of got a couple different ones here. Deadpool at 3. That is a little. No, I'm just kidding.
F you, Ryan Reynolds. I hate you even more now.
Walk us through this, D'Lo.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gantry number 1, first and foremost. Like, Mark 6 with Gantry, that is peak Marvel right there. Like, you don't get any higher grade than an Iron Man with a Gantry. Like, it's a freaking work of art. So, I mean, like, I challenge anybody to say anything's better than that, but we'll get to that.
Wait, didn't you just give me shit for having the Spider-Man at 6?
Which one?
This one right here.
Yeah, but it had more to do with
what
what you had in front of it.
You're circling the wrong Spider-Man.
You're circling like the middle of the screen.
Here, right here.
But look what's in front of that Spider-Man.
There you go.
It's hard to argue. My list is
I
a
got
lot.
2 mouses here. It's showing 2 mouses.
Oh yeah, okay. That now you're
my photos are actually behind it. So,
Dude.
Yeah, he gave me shit for this, and he's gotten the exact same spot.
But look at my list though. Look what's ahead of it. It's tough to beat that's on top of my list here.
Trash.
You see what I'm saying?
Trash. Come on.
What?
Too.
Dude, okay. Let's just run through this.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Because I thought we usually leave this part of the segment for like after I'm done.
Okay,
like
continue.
during. That's kind of weird.
Go ahead.
I feel attacked. She-Hulk is like unbelievable. Like the R&D for her is fantastic. She's a slept-on figure.
How does she feel?
Amazing, dude. Like very, very sturdy. You know, it's kind of like what I was saying with Brick about his figures, his Lady Pool.
You would really like Lady Pool. I think
you don't need a black light for She-Hulk. You know what I mean? No, but anyway. But I mean, she's fantastic. She's really like a lot of these figures were sleepers. I have her. And I think the word's kind of getting out. She really was a well-made figure that kind of got looked over. So she's on my top list there. Deadpool, I've owned every Deadpool, and this is hands down the very best one they've ever made. This one feels like a real person in a suit. The other ones seemed like caricatures. They never quite nailed them, and they had a lot of defects. This one's the best one. Outside of the foot peg situation, which I've heard with later batches is better, that's the only knock on that one there. But outside of that, this is fantastic Deadpool. Now, I got a chance to see Brick's Spider-Man red and blue suit, and I think it definitely warrants all the hype it got. That head sculpt is incredible. So I'd want that figure just for that alone.
What an experience for you with that red and blue.
D'Lo's very familiar with that head sculpt.
Your face.
I could not get that thing to get back on.
D'Lo has the most experience with that head sculpt of any collector.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's different when you're dealing with other people's collections. You're not as confident as you are.
That's true.
So I was like, please don't break this in front of Brick. Please don't break this in front of Brick here. So I was like, hey, you know what? You put the head back on. You put the head back on. But yeah. Number 5, it's the Mark II. Dude, the Mark II is fantastic, dude. I mean, that is straight up like metal.
Did you get that? Are you getting that one?
I'm going to get that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to get that one there. I mean, it's metal on metal. It's the Mark III basically before it was the Mark III. It's beautiful. And that head sculpt, that Tony head sculpt that comes with it, that's got to be the best one I've seen. In my opinion, I think that's the best Tony Stark head sculpt we've gotten from anyone so far. As far as for number 6, listen, I don't collect video games. That's why I landed at number 6 on this list over here, right? But I can appreciate a damn good figure when I see one. And this one here, from a photography perspective, I've seen guys like Zord and other people do great photos with this figure. And honest to gosh, I had no desire to pick it up, but the more I see it, the more I see great photos of this figure. Like sometimes I just say, how much is it really? Is it really that expensive? Let's see what it's going for. And I'm like, ooh, maybe not. But I can appreciate a good figure when I see one. Brown suit.
Yeah, and you and I are completely in line with that black suit.
Yeah, it's just it's not my cup of tea. I don't go for the video game stuff, but I can tell you it's a good figure for sure.
It's amazing.
Which leads to number 7. I actually put Hano on this list here. I went with the brown suit one. I think that's the superior of the 2 that's been released. I got a chance to see this at my local comic shop, believe it or not. And for the price of what it is, that's a damn good looking figure. And I think it feels more like a grown-up version of the figures I grew up with as a kid, which is why I kind of like it. So, cool. Fantastic one. I could have put a couple more Guardians on this list, but I decided just to keep it to Star-Lord only. But Nebula could have made the list, and Mantis could have definitely made the list from here. There's just
that's I think the crime on your list is.
Yeah, I mean she was number 11. Mantis is like number 11. She could have been 10, but I didn't want to have too many
Scarlet
Guardians.
Witch.
No, well, to be honest with you, dude, you know me. I told you which one I like. I like my Endgame Artisan.
I know, and
so
I'm
it's hard
excited.
to even
Next year, baby, number 1,
makes
top
me
10.
sad.
She's gonna be top 10 next year. Watch.
Yep.
But yeah, Star-Lord looks fantastic. I'm surprised no one thought about Mighty Thor. I think she's such a great figure. I mean, I think with the seamless arms and 2 head sculpts there, there's a lot of value in that one. And honestly, it's gonna be one of those figures that I don't see them making again. So I thought that was a pretty cool one there. And then, the Black Panther with Shuri, kind of like Graham. She was like a forgotten figure, but I mean, that head sculpt is a 10 out of 10. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I probably might be picking it up pretty soon. So that's pretty much my list in a nutshell. But there's so many I left off. But there you have it. You heard my spiel. What do you guys think? Tear it apart.
Do you think 9 and 10? I don't see a lot of those in people's, especially the Black Panther. Like, I feel like that's just an underrated figure in general. Like the movie, I was not a fan of the movie, but I just feel like that figure is so cool looking. Rick, do you remember when you and I don't know if we were talking or if we did a stream together, but when that was announced, you and I were talking to him. We were just like, man, that figure is so cool looking.
Yeah.
I want it, but at the same time, again, where does it fit into the collection? So like, that's just one of those that just looks so damn cool.
Yeah.
No, I think your list is solid. I think everybody's list is going to be solid here. I do think the Lady Thor head sculpt is really good. I think Star-Lord's a little bit easier to downgrade just because we've seen other variants of him, but I just think the this is the best one. But I also think because Volume 2 is so strong that one is still going to be people's favorites. So I think that could be why, this would be lower too. So no, the only thing I have a problem with is the fact that you put the figure at the exact same spot I did, but I got shit for it. So,
but look at my 5 of your 5. It's okay. It's okay. I worked harder on mine.
I'm sorry. I don't like the Deadpool figure as much. I'm sorry. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of with like Tristan's comment. I was surprised you didn't put the Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch.
You just read comments and then blurt stuff out. I swear. I knew that was coming. I swear. What does Steve think? What does somebody write in the chat?
There we go.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm surprised.
Talk about lazy.
There we go. I'm actually kind of surprised.
influencer.
I'm kind of surprised by everyone's list, but then they all make sense. I feel like I think what Graham mentioned about like the diversity of Marvel is just like you can't really go wrong with some of the choices because you have so many options. But we'll talk about Star Wars next week, and then we'll see what really happens. But
true fans are.
This is a good list. I'm kind of everybody's putting these 2 Spider-Man figures pretty high up. I was actually
foreshadowing.
I knew you were pretty high on She-Hulk, like as far as the figure goes. I didn't think you'd have her like top 3 though. That surprised me. She's good, me. Man. But
she's good.
It speaks to how good that figure is. I think that's cool seeing how people felt about the show. But I think that's cool that you feel like she's that good of a figure to be in that spot. Yeah.
All right. Brooke, any final thoughts?
Yeah.
I got some.
I'm just shocked. Mighty Thor's cool and all, but I am still shocked that Scarlet Witch isn't in 9 instead of
and
Mighty
Mantis.
Thor. Or Mantis.
She could have made the list.
No Mantis at all. No Mantis.
That's egregious.
And She-Hulk is really cool, but over that red and blue suit, it's a crime.
No Thor yet either on any of the 3 lists. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wasn't crazy about that Thor. Still not.
The Hano.
You got the head
surprises
sculpt with that.
me
And you
here
were
too,
pretty
though.
dissatisfied.
Yeah. I wanted to do a Kit Bash, and I got that head sculpt. Like, geez, he looks cross-eyed. Honestly, it's bad. It's a really bad sculpt. But
having a Hano at number 7 over these other 3 as well.
Well, it's not just any Hano. This is brown
I get
suit Wolverine.
it. I get it.
Hano.
Yeah, and like I said with Graham, like we go with our heart here, right? Like this is our list, So I totally get that, but yeah, I think the biggest surprise is no Multiverse of Madness, Scarlet Witch, and then like Steve said, She-Hulk being all the way at number 2. But again, I don't have She-Hulk. I've only seen her. Yeah. But man, I think if you guys put that black suit Peter Parker, sorry, not Toby, black suit Peter Parker in hand, you guys would both have that in your top 4.
That's the thing about my list. I've actually got a chance because I have a comic book store like 10 minutes away from my house. I've got a chance to see them all opened, and they're all great. That's why they made the list. But again, it's a top 10 list, not a top 20, which is tough because, like I said, that's a good problem to have for Marvel collectors because there's so many good figures that even a top 10 list, you're not going to find all the great figures that came out from Marvel this year. There's so many off the list. So this just kind of goes to the point I was saying before, like, hey, we talk primarily Star Wars a lot. Some of us are Batman fans, some of us are Spider-Man fans, but Marvel as a whole, great 2024. Yeah. Great. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We had to do a miscellaneous DC list last week. If anybody should be mad, it's me.
All right. Let's move on here. Let's go to Sneakers list. So you agree on the gantry.
My man.
And I think that's it.
Yes. I was unsure. Actually, Dylan, now that I think about it, I was unsure if you were going to put the gantry as your number 1. But then I remembered like you ended up getting it.
Deadpool at 2?
Dude. Okay, Graham, can you give me a second?
See, that's the thing. Like they got to say their spiel, and we got like
let me speak, man.
Right away.
Don't say they. I'm being quiet.
Dude, the gantry, Mark 6 with gantry is easily far and away the number one thing Marvel's done this year in my mind. The scale of that thing, and just like Dilo said, it is a work of art. All the swappable armor pieces. If you want to go battle damage and do something else with it, you can. The head sculpt, debatable, but I'm not using it anyways. I love that. It's such a cool piece. Deadpool, I really like what they did with Deadpool. They made some quality improvements over what they've done in the past, which was, I think, a really smart move based on how successful the movie was and how high people were on it. They could have taken the easy road like they've done on other stuff and just given us like a lazy upgrade versus what like the other Deadpool figure was. But they actually like put some thought into it. I feel like, and actually made like some good improvements.
I'm
What
running
did
with it
Deadpool
now.
do to you?
Running with
I want to know.
So number 3, yeah, this figure is sick, man, but I sold it. The reason being just because like I don't really have a spot for it. I got out of VGM because I love the figures, and then I realized these figures for me are just sitting in museum poses because I personally cannot bring myself to pose them because it's going to damage them the way I want to do that, and I just can't like bring myself to do that, unfortunately. And I actually had the Venom on pre-order, the video game Venom. And then I'm thinking like, if I'm not going to pose these with this Venom, there's no point in me having these, is basically what I thought. And I really like those figures. Loved Advanced Suit 2.0. I think that's one of like the best Spider-Man figures. And this figure also is really good, but it's so good, but it just doesn't have a place in my collection at this point, unfortunately. Mantis, besides the fact that you can't move her without damaging the figure, it feels like she's still a really good figure, really good. Like they got as far as the look goes, I feel like did a really nice job with the figure. And then red and blue suit, I actually had this figure, but I ended up just selling it because I revamped at that time. I was kind of redoing some stuff. I had bought it and then I just sold it right away. The red and blue suit I actually had, I just never displayed it. Sold it. This one, man, like it's cool and it's a great figure, but like it's one quick scene and we just don't know what's gonna happen like with the suit. And it's like it's a great figure. Besides all that stuff, like this
Tom
is
Holland's most important scene.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
Until
what
the
is
very next scene in the new movie?
Well, and I think what the question is, what is gonna go beyond with this suit? We'll see. But I do think like the figure, the head sculpt is easily one of the top 10 head sculpts of the year. Hoodies, one of the top hoodies of the year. Did I put Dead Strange in number 6?
I thought so.
Are you sure? Hold on a second. Let me look at this. Let me look at my list. I did. Okay. I made this list made this list really quick because I was literally getting cyberbullied by Grandpa Graham to get this list.
No, I just told you I'm not going to have time to do it other than tonight. So
that was passive aggressive. But anyways, Dead Strange, man, underrated figure, which is just sitting everywhere, unfortunately, because it just goes to show you how much stuff people have.
comic book
like
stores too.
it's just yeah. And this is a cool figure, man. This is probably one of the most like unique, cool looking figures that I feel like I don't have that I would eventually like to have at some point. It's just really hard to fit. I don't know like what I would do with this figure. I think that's what boils down to me for a lot of these figures is like, yeah, they just don't fit. They're all really good, but they don't fit. Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch pass because I'm just waiting on the Artisan Wanda. That's really, I only need one Scarlet Witch, so waiting for the Artisan. And She-Hulk, I just think like they did a really good job with the figure. Black Panther, I think an underrated figure. And then, yeah, I had to give some love to the brown suit Hana Wolverine on this one, just for what I feel like also those figures are getting for something to be new. And I know they're in connection, like Hana Studios in connection with Hot Toys. For something to be new, I feel like the reception to it has been like very positive. I haven't really heard like a lot of negative things about these Hano figures. It seems like people are mostly happy about what they think of the actual figures. And some people send me some photos. I've been tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I've been tempted on getting one of these Wolverines, but Yeah, I felt like it was worthy of top 10. Also, I forgot the Mark II, which my Mark II is shipping like this week, actually. I totally forgot about the Mark II. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, it's okay. I have one Iron Man on there. I'd rather give some other figures some love too. So we'll just leave the Mark II off. But that's definitely top 10 worthy as well. It's just, yeah, that's it. That's my list. Roast me.
I think it's shit. I mean, this is the worst list here. No, I'm just kidding.
Roast me.
I think the only thing that I find wrong about
Wrong.
Am I wrong? I mean,
about
completely.
the gantry Iron Man is the head sculpt. I don't like that head sculpt.
It's not the best.
Yeah,
I will
remember-
admit that.
Yeah,
there.
he was like looking
Not
too
using
old and stuff. I think that's one of the only reasons I knocked it. Well, and just for personal preference, like I don't need another Iron Man, but admitting that it's still, like you said, a work of art. But that would just be the one knock. I don't think it's a perfect figure. I think the head sculpt was weird. But I'm glad you showed Mantis some love. And Black Panther.
I'm
only thing I
surprised
don't
your
agree with is
Spider-Mans. I think your
Deadpool.
Spider-Mans are weirdly placed. I think 5 should be 3 and 3 should be 5. But that's one nitpick.
Yeah, I would say like, well, I've, obviously one doesn't have a head sculpt, but I feel like the figure that I liked more is Black Suit.
Mm.
But you could argue that, yeah, you could argue that like the actual red blue suit is overall the better figure because you get the head sculpt and stuff with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just the way I did mine was I not only looked at the figure, but I also looked at like what does it come with, you know, the accessories, the base. I think that, and that's why I had Gantry at 3. I had, you know, the red and blue suit at 1, but it's that tripped me out for a second. But no, I think you have a great list. I just personally, it's hard with Marvel. Seeing Spider-Man kind of middle of the pack. I mean, you got the black suit there, but you know, that's kind of that red and blue suit. I think was very, very. Everyone's talking about that figure. You know, like how good the sculpt was, the base, as I said already, but just you know, the best I think Spider-Man of the year. But I'm glad you put Dead Strange on there. I'm glad we kind of agree on that, and you got that Scarlet Witch on there too, because those are 2 awesome figures. So nice.
It's crazy looking at Graham. I can't believe you're the only person that did not put Deadpool on the list.
I put Lady Pool.
You're the number 1 hater of 2024, dude. I don't know what he
She
did
was
to
like,
you.
she was one. Lady Pool was one I was going like.
I guess
she
it's
was
just
at
one
the
that I
tail
feel like
end.
I've seen many times before.
One of the most talked figures this year, Deadpool, not on the list.
But it's just a figure that we've gotten. Like it's not.
Now, Grant, I think that's worse than me not putting Wanda on my list, in my opinion.
I just love
Chris,
it.
like,
I
agree to
just love
disagree,
Graham's. I just love
No,
Graham's
I think
entire
that
thought about
might be
Deadpool.
worse. You're right, Dila.
Since Graham
Thanks.
watched the movie, his entire thought about Deadpool has been this. Like I can only like
I've never been
tolerate
a
so much
fan.
of his
He's
jokes.
all right. I'm just not one to.
You're
I don't know,
consistent. I'll give you
his
that.
jokes are tiring,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I watched the movie for Wolverine and I liked it, so it is what it is. But
Stupid Ryan Reynolds
we
with
just
your
started a
stupid
poll
funny
here.
jokes and your handsome good looks.
We just started a poll on who had the best list. I think I know who's going to win this one, but make sure you guys vote. We got 78 still in the house, so do your job and be a responsible adult
Do your
and vote
job.
for the list that you.
I
think
have
is the
all of
best.
my lists done, and this was the hardest one for me. I think it's because I am a Marvel fan that it was hard for me to get this one right. Because, like I told you, I think DLO asked me, which one would you have put at number 11? And I came up with like 5 of them because I'm like, I don't know. You know?
Yeah,
It's tough for me
it's a
too
good
because,
year.
like I said, I just don't have any connections, like deep connections with a lot of them because I'm
Mhm.
not planning on getting most of them. So, honestly, 1 and 2 for me are pretty much the only ones I might even plan on getting. Like Star-Lord, maybe down the road, but
So, question: does Iron Man win? Because Iron Man's popped up at number 1 twice, and I think that's the only one who's done that. So,
And
is
it's the
that
top
our
3.
answer?
It's the top 3 with all 4.
Yeah, that's true too.
yeah.
Nothing lower than 3.
So, I mean, we're pretty consistent with that. I'd say that's pretty fair. 2 1s, 2 3s.
I
I'm
almost
the one
put Gantry at 1 and then had Spider-Man 2 and 3, but I was like, I'm the Spider-Man guy. Like these are my 2 figures right here.
Yeah,
I also
no,
was the
that's-
only Only person who left out Star-Lord, me. Left him
Oh,
out.
wow.
Just missed the
Wow.
cut because the team suit, man. If they had that head sculpt on like on something that wasn't team suit, he would have been probably top 5. If he
And
would
I'm
have
the
been
only
like
one that
like
left
an
out
OG
She-Hulk.
Star-Lord.
And honestly, Mantis, we have a 1 and a 4 and a 4, so that's pretty high too.
Steve, I give you props for picking Hano brown suit Wolvie. Appreciate that.
Dude, that figure's sick, man.
I agree. I think it's awesome.
I think it's worthy. Like what they were able to do for something like that. That's newer. Yeah.
Brick, I'll be honest with you. Looking at these lists here, I'm very surprised, knowing you personally, that there's no She-Hulk though.
I know. Yeah.
It's very, very weird.
I'm
not
looking.
like,
I'm
oh,
looking.
Dirt
I'm like,
Trap is
I should have put
very
her. I should have put her on there, but I don't know, man. Groot and Dead Strange, and I had my Lady Pool Mantis, Scarlet. I don't know. It's tough.
I think you should get her. I think you should hunt her down and get her.
Yeah.
She's like,
Man,
she's
Steve
the perfect
didn't have
pick
Lady
for you.
Pool
You
either.
love her.
Lady Pool was like just missed the cut. I feel like.
Dude, Lady Pool was so cool.
I was going back and forth. Like I was kind of like potentially 9 or 10. And then I wanted to squeeze Hano in there. Felt like it was worthy. That Shuri Black Panther is underrated, man. The head sculpt, I remember like, I haven't really like looked at it much since it released, I guess, but like that head sculpt is really good on that figure too.
If that movie was better, I think I would have pulled the trigger on that one. But
The crime of that movie though is they should have made Namor.
yeah.
The villain, they should have absolutely made him. That was the actual crime.
Yep.
That was kind of crazy they didn't make
I was
him.
so excited to get that one. I was like, what? I'm gonna get a Spanish hot toy? Let's go. About time.
No, you're not.
About time. Nope.
Come on,
Not
Blue
for me.
Beetle.
All right. Keep voting. Make sure you're voting. We're going to end this show pretty quick here because, gosh, freaking A, I try my best and we're still approaching 3 hours. So let's see. Jazzy says, why didn't you like the movie, Graham? Solid acting up. Black Panther? I thought the story was soft. I thought it was just boring. She barely even got into the Black Panther outfit until the end. It was just, I thought the Solo movie was okay, but even that I didn't think like was one of Marvel's best, and I just thought this was a step down from that. So I was just kind of bored, I guess. Does anybody else feel the same way?
No, I mean, it was really more of a tribute as opposed to a true successor to part 1. I get it. I mean, it's super hard. How do you replace Chadwick Boseman? Right? I mean, naturally, it's not going to be for everybody right off the bat. But I mean, overall, I think it was a good movie. It wasn't truly the Black Panther movie I need to see.
Yeah,
that's
my problem with the movie was it reminded me too much of Way of the Water, and I saw that first. And
I never put
that was
that
a little
together.
weird.
It was just it was too much water stuff. So I was like, I just saw this, But
they're brown in this one, they're blue in this one. Same
right.
movie.
Oh, gosh,
Those guys were dope though. I don't know. I really wanted a Neymar. Like, I'm really bummed out about that. You really tomato that one.
that was good. That was funny.
All right. I think, man, could Brick go 2 for 2 here? I'm going to end this poll.
Ooh,
So no, Brick got the majority last week, which was surprising because everybody was railing into him about his list.
yeah, that one surprised me.
And then
What
he
was
had
it?
the
What
best
was it
list.
that they were giving me crap on? It was having
well,
89 at number 1 and having the
I think
Batman
so.
at 10, right?
Did you close the poll? I can't vote for myself.
I did.
Aw.
I did close it, but it's not popping up for me.
I can't vote for
Wow, closing the poll at like 27 votes when there's like 80 people in here. That's
It's
rigged.
I'm ending the show.
I'm going to bed.
rigged, dude.
my.
I can't even see the results. So can anybody read them off?
I can't see him.
Yeah, nor can I.
Let
Anybody see
me,
it?
let me go to YouTube.
Oh, it said I won.
Deleted.
Oh, here they are. It popped
It's
up.
gone.
25
there it is.
votes. Come on, guys.
11 for
51%
me?
said Brick.
What?
23% fandom, 11% Jedi, 11% DLO. Well.
25
Welcome
people.
to the cellars,
Wow.
me, DLO.
What?
Welcome.
11% for me?
Thank you to the other 50 people watching who didn't vote.
Yeah.
Brick signing them
Well,
all.
I know Jazzy didn't vote for me now. Thanks, Jazzy.
Damn.
All right. Well, this is all for good fun. So Brick is 2-0 right now for the best list so far.
So I would not win Star Wars, I'm sure.
2 lists left. We have Star Wars next week, and then we have our ultimate top 10. Probably not the week after because that's Christmas, but maybe we'll see about New Year's. We'll see where everybody's at. Otherwise, in beginning
New Year's
of
would be
January,
good.
we'll do that. So
because
I
those
think I can
last
make
minute
New Year's
releases.
Yeah, I think I can make New Year's work. Christmas, obviously, not going to be a go. So we will be back next week, and we'll do Star Wars. So I know Jazzy will be getting his wine ready because that's probably the only way he'll get through that show. But I'm sure there's going to be other announcements and stuff like that too. So don't fret. I'm sorry about Star Killer. It's just the night's getting away from us, and I'm sure other people will be talking about it. So Steve will go live if he hasn't already, and I'll fill you in on that one. He's our resident Star Wars fan. So D-Lo, I'm gonna let you go first. It's not every day, it's not every week that you have a video out, so I'm gonna let you promote your channel.
Put out a video 10 days ago, jerk.
I know. I'm sorry, Java. It's I've let some of you down, but we would have gotten to it if we didn't have the DeLorean as well as Plo Koon. It's just too much packed into tonight's show.
Big show.
And
big show.
Believe it or not, I don't really like always going for 3 hours. So, but I have a lot of fun with you guys, and we just we get going. So, I do apologize. Go ahead, D-Lo.
Yeah. So great show, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us at the end. I mean, have 80 plus people throughout the entire show. Good show, guys.
Hell yeah.
As far as for me personally, if you guys haven't heard Brick say it 40 times on the show, thank you, Brick, for that. Yeah, I put out my collection tour video, officially dropped. It's available on my channel now, so definitely take a look at DLO The Collector for that. If you guys want to follow me on my social medias, they're all the same. DLO The Collector on Facebook, DLO The Collector on Instagram. And I got one more video for the end of the year, and that is going to be my in-art Batman. So stay tuned for that one.
Woo-hoo.
Save the best for last.
Well said.
Oh gosh.
Sneaker, go. Oh, gosh. I was trying to make him full screen. Sneaker, go ahead.
What am I doing? So tomorrow I forget if I mentioned. Well, no, I didn't mention this last week after I could not defend myself on my DC miscellaneous list.
Justin did that.
Yeah, and then yeah, my internet went out. But I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to drop off. I did a toy drive through the month of November, and raised $400. So thank you to everybody who donated. All super chats for the month of November. Raised $400 and went to a local comic shop, comic book store. Bought a bunch of stuff, $400 worth of stuff, and then also got donations from a couple other places. I have it's got to be close to 200 items that I'm donating tomorrow. So dropping it off at Toys for Tots, and then I'm gonna just do a quick video of that. Just a quick little vlog style video. It's really not anything crazy, but I just wanted to kind of show everybody the process of me going through that. And yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. And then you can catch my show on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, where we will be talking about a extremely amazing release in Star Killer, the great figure that that unfortunately apparently didn't make the cut tonight. It wasn't important enough. But come check me out on Sunday. And yes, it'll be a great show on Sunday night talking about that figure. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be very exciting. That's it.
Very passive aggressive. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Brick Artemis, last but not least. What? Damn it.
Oh, here we go. I'm guessing Star Killer is not going to be on Graham's top 10 next week. But so yeah, I mean, I recently, a little over a week ago, came out with a crazy video putting Hot Toys head sculpt in Coca-Cola, because why the hell not? And so go check that out. It's fun. And I also, Bugle 6, I'm doing every Monday this month with Flavio. And we just got done ranking every single Spider-Man figure. And they're villains, Hot Toys, ever released. So I had a lot of fun doing that, getting ready to do the movies as well. And we talk figures and all that too on Bugle 6. Let's see. I am working on my YouTube a ranking. So like a top 10, top 15 figures of the year. So you guys are in charge of that and the voting. So every morning I'll have a new poll and you guys vote for that figure, which figure you want. And the top 2 will go on to the next round. And until, of course, the figures are completed, we get our top 10. So that's all on you guys. So make sure you guys vote for that. So that's probably my last video of the year, unless I get a figure in by the end of the month, which I doubt I will. So crossing my fingers for video game Venom and to release this month. And yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all that's going on.
Awesome. As for my channel, last week I put out the Conundrum Man unboxing and review with a custom base from Display Heroes. You guys can check that out. Actually, the video did a lot better than I thought it would. Some of those that are not really hot items anymore, you know, don't really do as well. But you guys actually you watched that, so I appreciate that. I got Bane possibly shipping out by next Monday. So next week I might have Bane coming. I'm going to do an unboxing and review on that. And then this week, I always do it every year. So I think I'm going to, I'll just do it again this year. I don't go backwards as much anymore. So the list is a little bit more limited. But I like doing a list of what's on my Christmas list for figures, whether I get them or not. So I might do that this week just to kind of give you guys some content to hang out and you know, see what's on your list as well. So other than that, we will be back next week for Wolfpack Wednesday. We will be off the week after due to Christmas. But this was a lot of fun. I'm having fun ranking these figures and seeing kind of where these guys' heads are at when it comes to ranking the figures on their list too, and what makes people tick. So it's been a lot of fun. Really enjoy doing the show with you guys on the panel, with you guys there in the chat. So thank you for sticking with us tonight. Like DLO said, it was a really good show. We had a really good turnout. So appreciate you guys coming each and every week, coming and hanging out with us. It just means a lot to us that you come back each and every week and that you enjoy the content that we are throwing at you. So hope you all have a great rest of the week. We are getting closer and closer to Christmas, which I'm excited about. I know I'll probably be getting a couple figures at least. So yeah, excited for that. I guess until next time, too sweet, my boys.
Dip them like a cookie.
What? Nipple like a cookie?
No, you got to dip it like a cookie in it.
Oh, dip it like a cookie. Yeah, shake it around.
Come on, guys. Shake it. Shake it.
Wait, we might get
stay safe out there, guys.
I don't like the way that looked on camera.
Goodbye.
No.